Hello, welcome to VarangianLP, episode 244. We are back with Seafaring. It's been a hot minute.
The beginning of the end.
Yeah, we are entering our final series of encounters here.
Mug, why are you only at 57 hit points?
Because I didn't finish. Because I didn't finish the number papers yet. Actually, I don't know what my number should be. It might be 4.
Who remembers what happened last time?
We had a nice, lovely chat with good old Bob's, Baba Yaga, and managed to not die.
Through keen and shrewd negotiation.
Yep.
True.
And then we found ourselves back on the ship in a different place than we had been, and continued to sail on towards the problem, aka Mug's family being attacked by the Navy.
In the Navy.
Then we leveled up and did some simulacrum and true polymorph shenanigans. So we have a spare dragon and a spare captain.
That does remind me. What you said this was an ancient brass?
Ancient brass dragon, yes.
What are the points on that?
Average 297.
Line sight, 60 feet.
There we go. You should all have control over it now. Wow. Relatively.
So if I'm understanding right, that's me.
Yes.
I'm me.
Also true.
How many other simulacrum shenanigans are there any other copies of anybody else running around?
There's a copy of the captain.
Captain, okay. Same stats, same everything, just a copy of you?
No, the copy of me is half hit points.
Half hit points.
And doesn't have the same equipment.
Yeah, but that's what I keep track of that side of things. So.
Yeah. This entire game, the captain and Kit and Mug have been 3 people whose hit points I've never been able to see. But thanks to streaming technology, I can see Tim's hit points. Now there's only 2 mysteries left.
I can't see Tim's or the captain's.
Yeah.
Really?
Well,
yeah.
Tune into the stream and you can see Tim's glorious 248 hit points. It's more than just an entertaining time and a way to support a friend. It also gives you in-game information.
We do that with video games too. Multiplayer games.
I tuned into a little bit of your Foxhole stream just to watch a tank just ignore everyone else and come kill you, which was
nice.
very fun to watch.
Yep. Tanks will just murder you.
Yeah.
Tanks a lot.
Mm-hmm. How sore would Guinevere be if it was Tanks-a-lot, not Lancelot?
Depends. Which bit of him is the tank?
I was picturing just a panzer instead of a knight.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess the question is, what part of the tank is the penis?
I don't know. Depends on the tank.
I mean, if it's it's one of those old army of diesels, then the donkey dick is in fact the dick, and that's found deep in the bowels of that thing.
Tank donkey dick. This has brought up interesting images.
What have you done?
I'm sure. By way of explanation, the donkey dick is a basically long rubber tube you put on the end of a fuel can.
Yeah. Or a jerry can if you're civilized.
I'm not.
Good.
That's why I call it things like a donkey dick.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I believe I've altered it so everyone can see everyone's sheets. Is that correct?
That
I
is.
I still cannot see Mug's hit points.
Yeah, Mug remains the mystery,
I mean,
but
you're just
everybody
gonna.
else.
You're just
I'm
gonna
gonna
have
hit repeat. I'm gonna hit refresh and see what happens.
You're
Oh,
just gonna
I
have
see
to
it
tune into
now.
the stream, guys. Just tune into the stream.
I see it now.
Also
Yeah,
works.
refresh has worked.
We can now see ourselves, see everything, and see all the numbers,
And shapes.
some
Damn,
shapes.
he ruined our scheme to make them watch the stream.
I tried.
All right. Any other plans I should know about going into the scenario that you guys have cooked up over the last week and a half, 2 weeks?
I now have silvery barbs. Other than that, I can think of nothing to declare.
That's going to be a thing to deal with. Anyone else? No. Okay.
I don't think so. I'm still a remarkably simple individual. Punchy punch.
I'm still a remarkably simple individual, says the man playing 2 different classes that punch in different ways using different stats.
That is true. Who are we today?
Eddie.
Okay.
And for funsies, the dragon is Henry.
Mm. El Dracone.
That tracks. Anyway, I should remove these people from this list.
Yeah, besides,
And
I mean, I'm playing 2 different classes. Technically, I'm playing 4 different subclasses because they are different kinds of rogue now.
now, as I recall,
Why did you do that to yourself and also volunteer to run the dragon?
Because I only have to worry about 2 of them at a time.
Okay. Sorry, I talked over God.
Hang your head in shame.
is there any other business that people want to get to before you arrive at said island?
Every time you ask that question, I feel like the answer should be yes, but I can't think of anything.
I
Yes,
want
it
the
would
answer
be
to be
yes,
yes,
and
but I can't
I-
think of anything either.
I cast Force Cage on myself. I'll stay here.
Nothing that isn't like part of the captain's normal ship protection stuff.
All right. Well, as you get close to the island, Mug, would you like to describe the overall look of the island itself?
Mm.
Ian?
We timed that question as he was taking a bite of something.
Sorry,
Of course we did.
yeah, no worries.
That's the nature of the universe right
I
there.
just my dinner started a bit late, so I'm wolfing it down. But yeah, it is it's kind of a fearsome-looking volcanic island with a large central spire with a plume of black smoke rising up out of it. And the smoke from the volcano sort of moves around unnaturally and like enshrouds the area and only lets people see through it that it wants to, sort of, or that the that the whoever or whatever or however it works, it's matching the will of the inhabitants of the island to keep them safe and hidden. And I know, I mean, there are answers to that, but they wouldn't tell you, so. Unless it comes up, I won't tell you about it either.
And Mug certainly wouldn't remember.
Yeah, Mug is not really part of the high-level magical circles of the island. He more of a naive magic user who stumbled upon certain powers through more of a druidic connection. But yeah, there's you wouldn't really see any obvious structures from the outside, but when you sail, like sort of into the underground
ash.
cavern. Well, I don't know if we're there yet, but that's where you would go to find the people. And there's sort of like a fortress carved into the volcanic stone that your boat pulls up to. But that's not to say it's just like an obsidian lifeless island. There is, like wildlife and plants and stuff on the island.
Volcanic soil is some of the most fertile in the world.
Is everything that's naturally living on the island sort of unnaturally resistant to fire? Or
I would say so.
Okay.
Or to some degree, maybe they just have immunity to hot weather type conditions, but they're warm acclimated generally, but yeah, you would see a higher quantity of creatures that are just like black and like drained of color. Not every creature, but there's like basically island variants of certain creatures that basically drained of color and would not take much damage from fire, if any. But other than that, things are fairly normal in terms of wildlife.
A lot of it is as you remember. Obviously, there is a fleet outside of it that is not normally there, and the ocean itself is not as angry as you're used to seeing in this area. There's
the effect is dampened,
things, making it easier for ships non-native ships to get into the harbor.
I'm sorry. Is that a fleet? How many ships in a fleet?
Love, can you turn the volume up a little?
Through the haze of the volcanic ash and smoke, it is a little difficult to tell. Does someone want to make me a perception check? Adding whatever bonuses you have to long-range checks.
Oh yeah.
I say this because I know that there are some amongst the party.
I will.
Yes, let me pull up my boat sheet.
I will guide whoever is making this.
Okay.
Come back. All right. Where is my... Where the heck is it? There it is. Okay. All right. So rolling. Plus guidance comes to 29.
So this fleet, you've seen a large fleet accompanied by an admiral once before at the Dwarven Island that was under siege. This looks like it'd be somewhat similar if multiple admirals had gotten involved, what you would expect from multiple admirals being involved. So
Fun.
the fleet you're looking at is roughly 3 to 4 times larger than the one you saw around the Dwarven country.
Well, not.
While some shelling of the island is currently happening, it's unclear how much impact or how much damage is actually happening through the smoke. There are some with the 29. You're also able to, as you're looking at the island, see fleets moving in, like a part of the fleet has moved into and settled into the harbor. Aside from the primary place where you're expecting to find Mug's mom, there are several other points of importance. You know that you know Mug. Precious to you and your shark barbarian ways, there is a shrine in the bay that normally is responsible for the waters that would protect the island. Something is likely amiss with that.
Mm-hmm.
You see signs of magical, what I can only call magical combat occurring on the side of the volcano, as if someone is attempting to alter its effects as well. That is ongoing. And then finally you have the town and the primary temple on the island, which had been covered completely in smoke, but you see from your specific direction little gaps, little windows opening up as you're gazing at things, only to seal shut as you move over.
So it sounds like there's sort of 3 primary objective areas. There's the Shark Shrine that, if we can get that back up and running, could disrupt a lot of the naval presence. There's whatever the fuck is going on the volcano, and then there's the defense of the temple itself.
There's
Is
the
that-
town and temple itself, which are kind of in the same area.
Oh, but are 2 distinct things.
Mm-hmm.
Two different theaters, if you will. Let me
Okay.
move you to what I've kind of created here.
Yeah, there's sort of a more like religious portion and a more just like people chilling portion. Not everyone has to join the cult.
Mm.
That's what's so great about this cult.
It's just recommended.
It's just
Overall, the
optional
island is,
cult.
I mean, it's a little smoky, but it's a nice place to live otherwise. You have the rich volcanic soil,
Mhm.
a relative degree of a high degree of protection from any
Mhm.
kind of pirate attacks.
Mhm.
Only a force as strong as this would be able to threaten the place.
Mhm.
And even still, there are signs of a lot of dead and dying sailors and soldiers.
Mhm.
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 You see more than a few burning wrecks sinking beneath the waves, most of which seem to fly Navy colors.
Nice.
Wow. Mm.
Is there any section of water that is just Navy and doesn't have any of the people who are with Mug's family?
Worried about these kinds of questions? Yes. So at this point, in terms of naval battles, there's not much going on at the moment. You see the remains of recent fights in the last few days.
Mhm.
Most of the ships in the area that you can see are naval. You're guessing there may be some form of vessels in the bay itself, in the harbor, or in the port.
Okay.
And that is one of these territories here that you can explore first.
Hey Marcellus, good to see you. Thanks for coming through.
It sounds like we need to make a
Hope your
decision
Sunday's
about
going well.
what to focus on first. Is
Yes.
that okay?
So you have your choice of what to. I have a rough tree outlined of if you tackle this first instead of this, these events will happen.
Well, Captain, Godspeed making that decision.
Well, we know what the next 3 hours are going to be.
What? Just talking about which decision is the best option and going back and forth. And
Nope.
Trying to determine.
This
What
group
hours
isn't a democracy. We have an absolute leader.
Yes, indeed. All right.
So
And it's not
Good.
fucking me.
Is there any soup around?
Which are the options specifically again?
So kind of I have them outlined on the map there. I suppose I could label them. But you have the port
Got
with a shrine that's connected to Mug and his barbarian powers, as well as has some power over the ocean in the area. You have the volcano and its temple that also has an effect that is currently ongoing, and you can see combat going on the signs of magical combat going on from this distance up there. And you have the town with the town people. Town there you can see, and there's. You're not sure if it's fighting currently actively so much as people are being rounded up.
Mhm.
Then you have the temple, where you presume Mug's mother and any of Mug's family/organization fellows
Mm-hmm.
would still be if they're still on the island.
Well, Aaron's certainly preference is, he's been excited about sailing right onto an island ever since I got the capability to do that.
Oh yeah.
So I feel like we should choose one of the ones that's like on the island, so we can just sort of drive up the side and
Okay.
drive a boat into wherever we feel like going.
what may also be something to consider at some point is we could use Aki's 9th level spell for Storm of Vengeance.
Would you kindly describe to me what that does? Because I'm not familiar with Storm of Vengeance.
Fuck this whole area.
Yeah, it's just a really big storm.
With a radius of 360 feet.
Okay.
When it appears, creatures that are in the area must make a Constitution saving throw or take 2d6 thunder damage and be deafened for 5 minutes. And then every round that I maintain concentration, I can do other fun things.
Acid rain, 6 bolts of lightning, hailstones, difficult terrain and heavy obscurity, and cold
Looks
damage.
like-
It's a way to kill everyone in the town.
Yeah.
That doesn't have class levels, and quite a few that have fewer than 3 class levels. It's genocide in a can. It's a very good spell.
Let's say I was going to advocate for storming the port to get to the shrine to close off the fleet from getting us from behind, but and then from the port we can mount the docks and charge up Main Street with the ship is what I'm suggesting.
There is ongoing stuff going on in the Volcano Temple, so there's a concern that if we leave that alone too long, that'll go in the opposite direction. And if there's anybody in Mug's family to still rescue, they'd be in the temple. So there's like
Mhm.
there's reasons to go to those two, and it sounds like. But I also agree. It seems to make a lot of sense that if our problem is the Navy, getting the Shark Shrine and whatever it can do to the oceans seems like a good strategic move. But it's the captain's decision. Unless someone other than me wants to make it not the captain's decision. But
How concerned would Mug feel about his family at this point? Like, I mean, I assume they're pretty confident in their ability. So, but if it's a factor, I don't know.
That's a good question. What is Mug, seeing the state of the island that it is in, what is Mug feeling right now?
Probably angry, like different angry, because he rages. He falls into a blind rage, but he's sort of like not even there for that in some ways. He's not really like mad. He's just like it's like the Incredible Hulk situation. But yeah, he's like actually mad. And having trouble not just like raging. And desiring to shed the blood of his foes.
So there's a deeper anger going on here than normal.
Yeah. Like normally he would fight the Navy because they're annoying and the captain asked him to. But now he just like wants to kill everyone. I mean, obviously not his friends, but you know, now it's now it's personal.
Soup abound.
But he's probably I wouldn't expect him to have a lot to say, other than just like, what if we move the ship faster? We gotta kill them all. And things of that nature. And like being actively ordered to not put more sails or what, like he could if when he's ordered, he still will always listen to the captain, but he's like he can make the crew do stuff on the ship too. And normally has a lot of leeway, so the captain's needing to make sure to be in control of where the ship's going and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
I'll say I have voiced my advocacy.
So it sounds like people.
And I guess he would
getting this right. People are leaning in the direction of the port and then moving inland.
Yeah, I think Mug would want to go to the temple, but
which is.
But I think
confused where different things are,
but I think if the rest of the crew wanted to go to the port, he would certainly follow the play.
If Mug wants to go to the temple, this is Mug's island. I have, like I said, I have advocated my preference, but I don't get a vote.
Yeah, well, neither does Mug. But so for whatever all that is worth, that's what his desire would. That's what he would be trying to want to have happen.
Yeah.
So take of that what thou wilt.
Mug's preference is go where Mug's family probably is.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Then simple enough.
So then that's where we're headed.
All right.
Cool.
Hooray!
Kit would vote for the volcano too. So.
Well,
now we all have to change our votes.
I was saying because there's two temples. There's the temple in town. Well, if I'm understanding correctly, that's where we would expect Mug's family to be. And there's the volcano temple where something is happening, but we don't think that has anything to do with Mug's family.
Oh.
Am I
Not
correct in that?
Not directly with his family, but anything that messes with the volcanic protection of the island will make your situation here more dangerous.
Hmm.
will make you more vulnerable to offshore cannon fire.
Right. Like, I mean, Mug wants to go to his family, but if the smarter play is not to, he would follow the orders to go not there. So if we really think the other way is better, we can do that too. Just
I mean, I think it's going to come down to like 6 of one, half and does the other
Yeah.
when it comes.
yeah. Well, and yeah, I guess thematically, Captain listening to
We do
Mug for
have
a change
some,
is a
like,
little
okay,
interesting.
so it's hard. Yeah, the problem is, like, we do have some pretty long range crazy spells we could pull off, but the problem is, like, we can't, with all the smoke and stuff, we can't necessarily, like, see well to, like,
Yeah.
like if I threw a tsunami from over here at the port, I wouldn't know what I was hitting.
Yeah, without being an evocation wizard, I guess you wouldn't want to do that.
So,
I guess the first question is, where are we going? And it sounds like that's
yep,
the temple in town.
yep.
Second question, do we want to have Crystal, do we want to have a key cast Storm of Vengeance on the way in and muck up things? Because we never answered that question.
Well, the problem is, it's like, you know, because of the, you know, it's indiscriminate.
Yeah.
And not everybody here is foe.
Mm-hmm.
So just put it over a bunch of ships and watch them.
Yeah, you could definitely nail a number of ships and mess with operations there.
Can we tell, like, are we able to tell, like, there's a chunk of ships that definitely are not friendlies?
Oh yeah, basically everything you see currently sailing around this island, or anchored around this island, flies the native flag.
So they're sitting ducks.
There are some ships that look like they put up a really good fight a few days
So,
ago.
in order to even get to the island, we're going to have to break through somewhere.
Correct.
Okay.
Most of the ships are going to be focused, or are going to be. Most of the ships are focused around the harbor and the port, but there is a ring of ships around the island no matter where you go.
All right. Okay, so
So
You could-
stage one, destroy what
You
we
could do
can.
what you had talked about, which was go from the far side of the island and then just drive from over the land into port. That way you'd only have to deal with a couple ships on your way over rather than many powerful ships.
you know, I think we're here to muck things up. I think, you know, beeline, no matter what we have to go through, is probably what we're gonna choose to do.
Barrel through.
So to get things started here, I will go ahead and as we are sailing towards the island, you know, getting all ready, the captain will climb towards the front of the ship, and you know, pull out some sacks of powdered gold that he has, you know, fabricated, and he will dump them over the side such that the waves like catch it up onto the bow, you know, the wooden sides of the ship, you know, glitter style, and skywrite in the sky. You know, just the vengeance of Cord has come. And then we will make our beeline straight towards the temple, whatever we got to go through or over to do that. We will we will do. And then I've got some spells and such ready to go whenever we get within range here of stuff.
All right.
Well, I think they might know we're here now.
Oh, they certainly do. They certainly do.
Oh, good. I'm so glad. Oh, dear.
Let's go ahead and
Right, so where are we going?
Straight
you
in.
going?
Bug seems to think his family will be at the temple in the center of the island. We're going to sail right across the land. I've wanted to try this for a while.
I would like to be invisible.
that is a thing you can do.
I do this.
Like to be where?
Invisible.
Ah,
Just because they know we're coming doesn't mean they need to know where I am.
fair enough.
Is the dragon flying? Is it with the ship? Is it swimming? What are we doing with the dragon at the moment?
Well, what we're mostly doing is we're having trouble with our left eye. So doing my best to read. So the dragon is going to fly ahead and then start burrowing. That 40-foot burrow speed.
Drain the ocean.
Assuming we get to the island.
Ah, yes, got to get to the island first.
I'm gonna
obviously.
turn to the invisible space that Francis was just in and say, "Hey, why do they call it invisible and not out of visible? Because now I can't see you."
I think it has to do with the sort of historical etymology of "in" as a sort of contradicting. I don't know.
But
I'm not a language nerd.
like you're not in my sight right now, so how could you be invisible?
That's a very good point, Mug. I will call the
Language-
magic.
Yeah, tell the dictionary people that they did it wrong.
They are certainly dicks. I'll give you that.
Yeah.
But I'll call it out visibility from now on. For you.
Because of a pattern of events that's followed this campaign, Kid is just going to reach over and cast F word on Aki as we're approaching the name.
What do 2 stacks of death ward do?
Oh, you don't die 2 times? Probably nothing, actually.
Is it, yours is in the book though, right?
Yeah, mine's in the book.
So it's a different, it's not the same.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
I know.
Oh,
So
okay.
I'm assuming it. I'm assuming just
Yeah,
one
yeah.
will go off and then the next one will go off
It's
next time.
probably this. Yeah, I guess depending on the wording.
If it activates, we'll assign even odds roll to see whose activates first,
Okay.
and go from
Oh,
there.
sweet. Cool. So I'm now in competition with Tom to see who gets to save a key first.
And then who gets to savor when it actually matters?
Yeah.
All right. If I can get a initiative roll from Red Hub
Okay.
for the ship.
Yep.
Mhm.
The captain will produce a number of. Let's see. What do they look like? A number of small tokens that look like anchors. And hand them out to the party and says that if you touch one of these to a ship, it will be rooted in place for 24 hours. If you touch it again to the ship, it'll unroot itself, but it will, could come in handy if you end up, needing to stop a ship. So I have enough for everybody to have one. So everybody has one no more move ship.
I assume it's an action to touch the ship.
Yes, an action to touch it to the ship.
Does it one token per ship, or can it just you can't tag multiple with one?
You
or...
can't tag multiple. It can stop a ship for 24 hours, and then it could unstop it if you wanted to. But that is like the whole of it can do one stop and unstop.
So, so you just touch the anchor to the ship, but you still like keep it. It doesn't like
Yep, you
bind
keep it
to the
with
ship.
you,
Okay.
And then if you ever go and touch it again to the ship, it would
Okay. Cool.
And that's using an item, not.
Yep, using an item. It's not even a
casting a
spell.
Mm.
So, Captain, you have a bird. Pointing at Kit. And I can make them not see him. So he can just go and route ships.
Yes, but I'm going to assume that we're going to do some of the ships in our direct path will be taken care of otherwise, but later on.
Okay. I just thought that if we close some of the ships before we get to the ring, if they're, I don't know if they're anchored or in movements. Really, I don't know if it matters, but my thinking was we could create a hole in the blockade if we could, like, stop 6 ships from moving, but
I'll just move the ships. So our ship has 50-foot movement speed, so 100 feet around in combat, and I can bring that up to. Well, I can double it. I don't know how much stacking you're okay with, but I could double it twice, technically, for 10 minutes. So I could either really go fast for a while or go fast for like 20 minutes. But once we're within range, I will pull out my Scroll of Tsunami, and we'll use that when we're ready to slide through these guys. So.
All right. So using your Scroll of Tsunami and pumping up your speed of your ship up to its absolute max, which is pretty crazy fast.
Yep.
This is a fucking speedboat with sails.
Basically.
Yeah, if you're fine with the two, because one of them like controls the wind and the other is like a magical doubling thing. It would get us up to 400 feet in a round for 10 minutes.
Let me check this thing here.
Alexa,
And then,
how many miles per hour
of...
is 400 feet every 6 seconds?
From answers.com.
How many miles an hour?
3.18 seconds equates to an average speed of 20.72 miles per hour.
20.
Okay.
That's fast for a boat. That's fast
Oh,
for
for
a
a sail-
wooden
yeah, for a sailboat,
wooden
for sure.
sailboat. That's very fast.
For the ships, let's see. I add that and that. So that comes out to...
She's a little off.
I was going to say, I'm coming up with 45 miles an hour, but
Same.
yeah. Doing 400
It
feet
probably...
per second. And then
25 is the ship's, if you want me to roll for, is the ship's initiative, if that's what you want me to roll.
The thing that happens is Alexa just clicks on a Google search result and reads it, basically.
Yeah. So basically, she's asking what the AI thing on Google is.
She didn't even know what, the right question to answer. So it's okay. Sometimes it works.
Why is this?
Why is this?
I don't know, man.
There we go.
But God will figure it out.
True.
Eventually. All right. So you're going around.
He has a plan, particularly for Caleb.
Yes, I know. You're going around 4 times faster than the other ships are at the moment, which will definitely factor into you being able to get past them quickly.
Oh,
God is
God.
dead.
God is dead.
Yay.
We are in fact going 10 miles per hour faster than the fastest modern naval vessels.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Good. I'm
you-
glad
you're-
we
you're a
have
little
someone
quiet.
who could properly sort it out for us. Thank you, Miles. I knew it was fast. I just didn't have the words.
There we go. For some reason, the internet was just like, I need you to turn off for a moment. But anyway,
That'll happen.
yep. Making sure I have all the things open that I need.
I'm going to take advantage of this high speed spell casting to run and put my glasses on. I'll be right back.
Floor it.
And how are you using the Typhoon spell to help you, exactly?
So we're gunning towards a line of boats that are surrounding this island. Tsunami creates a 300-foot wide, 300-foot tall, 50-foot thick wave that I'm just going to put a ways in front of us at the spot we're trying to get through. And for
Nice, so you
6
just-
seconds, it travels along. So 6 times, so it'll be 300 feet. Yeah, it'll go 300 feet in distance for that during that chunk, bit by, over the course of 6 rounds. Yeah, it does damage to creatures, and then whatever. Yeah. They have to make a strength saving throw or take damage, and then it slowly moves, boom, 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 and blasts through things.
All right.
And then you just got to decide how that affects ships and
Oh, yeah.
yada yada yada.
That's definitely buying you time, giving you breathing room, / pushing things out of your way. What that probably means is that they are going to get just a couple rounds of time to fire at you before you're on the land and more protected by the current smoke of the island.
Sounds good.
Are there anything you want to do to attack the ships themselves, or are you just pushing through, and this is open for everybody?
What kind of distances are we talking about?
120 feet? What?
I was going to bring it down to the short range of cannons, but you're moving quickly enough and have enough interfering and getting in the way that you'll easily be able to push that. The ships that are over here are expecting to intercept people coming from the island and are not as heavily armed as the ships by the port. They're more faster ships. Not as fast as you, though. When you can get up to these kinds of speeds. So they'll have a few rounds to fire at you at range with cannon, but it's going to be... You're probably looking at closest ones being 1,000 feet away from you still.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, not.
That makes it hard for most spells to interfere, yes.
Yeah, I don't have much to do at 1,000 feet.
That's both the penalty and the benefit of breaking through as cleanly as you're doing.
Do you know what does have much to do with 1,000 feet? Storm of Vengeance.
What's the range on that?
Sight.
Sight?
Yeah, so if she wanted
So
to
radius.
use it on another clump of ships in one or the other direction of our, tsunami's right in front of us.
I do love getting to give that answer. Sight.
I'm gonna.
The tsunami does 300 feet wide. Storm of Vengeance would be another 600 feet.
I'm gonna retitle the stream "Destroying the Entire Navy with Magic."
Nice.
Or she could center it on the same area as the tsunami, double hit the center people, and get an extra couple hundred feet on at the edges.
What do you want to try doing there?
Destroy the Navy. My brain is not doing the picture thing very well.
So I guess the big question is: do you want to target one side that we're going through a place, and the tsunami's in front of us? Do you want to target the ships on one side or the other, or do you want to double target the ships in the middle and sort of targets a little bit on either side of the tsunami?
Or
Unless.
do you want to pour your storm into the tsunami spell being cast by the captain?
What?
Link hands and Wonder Twins this shit.
Bigger storm.
What would that do?
What would you want it to do? I have ideas, but if you're not sure, I can let you know what I'm thinking. But
So, Storm of Vengeance itself, the other option, Aaron, too, is that I could also dual cast Tsunami with you.
You could, yeah. We could target, a 600-foot wide area rather than a 300-foot wide area.
Uh-huh.
Whoa.
Yeah, Tsunami's 8th level, so you'd still have your 9th for Storm of Vengeance later on if you wanted to.
I think that might be a better call for the moment.
Okay.
Just because then we potentially have Storm of Vengeance as a way out. If we need it.
So just double tsunami.
No.
Yep. So, pouring the energy into the tsunami, you're able to substantially expand the effect of it. Not just creating better walls to protect your ship, but having the current pull you along.
Double our speed again.
Increasing your speed. I'll go ahead and say that with between that much magical power being used, shots are fired at your ship, but no gunner in this navy is trained to fire targets moving quite that quickly. Certainly not at these kinds of ranges.
That's a 5-forward fire. Right.
So as a roar of lines of cannons go off in your direction, you see plumes of water rising up around you, but you're able to absolutely speedboat your way towards the island, pushing the one unfortunate ship that was in your way, just completely swamping it underwater as you're passing it. The ship that was best posed to stop you are currently trying to bail themselves out as walls of water rush over them. And they have wet powder.
The fools.
So you've gotten onto the back of the island, what is your... Go back to the island map, since we will not need any combat here.
Mm.
Where are folks? Did we decide the port?
I think we decided the temple.
The fire, the volcanic?
Well, the temple that Muggs thinks his family is at, I think, is what we decided.
I think
Oh.
that's
Yeah. Yep, I believe
All
that's where we're headed.
Mug asked, and the captain said, "Okay."
Yep. I got to sail over the land. That's
And
what
now we're here.
like, my only priority for this fight.
All right. You're not exactly being subtle.
Nope.
We don't
I
really
announced
do
my
that.
presence, and then we.
Are
made
you?
a
Added
giant-
glitter. You added glitter to the front of the ship and
Yeah.
wrote a giant message in the sky.
And then cast a 600-foot long, 300-foot high tsunami.
We're here.
I think
Yeah.
I think they may have noticed.
We're out here.
How are you wanting? Are you wanting to just crash your ship onto the scene? Am I pulling your ship token into this battle map, or what am I? Are you stopping outside the city and dismounting and then rushing the fight area?
Yeah.
I mean, is there?
I guess it depends on the mechanics of like maneuvering a
I mean,
ship.
I don't see a real. I don't see. I mean, individual people can do whatever they want. I don't see a real need to get off the ship until we get as close as we can to the temple. Like,
You can roll up to the back door of the temple and jump over the back wall if you want.
I mean,
Like,
that's
that
what
is-
I was assuming that we were gonna do something just like that.
Okay,
Okay.
And we. Okay. Yeah.
makes sense.
Let me place.
I suppose it
you-
would be rude to Kool-Aid Man into the temple
Mhm.
with the ship.
I mean,
Yeah.
probably.
Well,
but
we
there's
also
already
might
a
run
very
someone
small-
over that we don't want to.
Yeah.
It would be hilarious, but not the time.
Again.
I'm just gonna metaphorically Kool-Aid Man
Just
in.
earthquake
still.
it.
All right. Go ahead and bump you over
Ooh.
here.
Cool.
Oh.
There is a lot of fighting going on right now.
Ooh. Oh dear.
Oh,
Look,
Things.
a giant orc.
Look. One Piece.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
Well, there's a lot of dead people.
And
Uh-huh.
whatever the fuck that thing is.
Oh.
I don't want to know what that is.
Oh, fucking hell.
So
Really?
good from everybody, please. As everyone knows you're here.
Oh, two of these
Now-
guys. suck.
Now all of China knows you're here. I continue to be invisible, by the way.
I actually don't recognize that particular monster.
I assume it is a Tome of Beasts thing.
Hmm.
Effectively, creature codex, but yes.
Mhm.
That would be right.
Oh, its fingers are snakes.
Wait. Let's get in there.
Put this down so I can add the turn in.
Wow.
Will the captain's simulacrum just go on the captain's turn?
Yeah, I could just do that if you want me to.
That makes sense to me. If you would prefer to have two different initiatives, I'll figure that out. But
No, I'm fine. The
okay, good. I
ship
appreciate
captain is
that.
mostly gonna be reactionary, probably, but
We carry on the time-honored tradition of stealing everything from
Oh, yeah.
anime and movies.
I must say, based on these anime images, the one on the far right is about to take a shot at the one on the far left.
All right. Some of you getting there. I'll roll my own initiatives.
Initiativo. Mug, your mother terrifies me.
That means you are a wise man.
Why, she's really nice.
She's very large.
I mean, yeah, it makes sense, right? You don't become in charge of a bunch of pirates without being really good at beating people up.
I've never really given that much thought.
Retta's like, is that how you do it?
That's how I do it.
Retta has beaten
I
a lot of
mean,
people up.
if I was a captain,
I have beat a lot of people up, but I feel like that's not like the line that I took to become captain.
No.
Didn't really like.
it's a very
didn't seem to be
mug.
paved with that as
So-
the base.
It's a
You
very
took the line
mug worldview.
Retta took the line of being the most competent person there.
In Mug's mind, though, being able to beat people up and being really good at magic kind of go together too. Like he understands that magic can be used to beat people the fuck up real good.
Yeah, that's true.
Basically, like flying daggers might as well be beating people up. Like how Yondu in Guardians of the Galaxy he's not a huge guy, but he can flex on the people.
Yeah.
With his immense
And with his
weaponry.
immense animated weapon, yes.
His immense skill
Actually,
with the animated weapon.
That's
I
actually
meant to
that's
say.
a shockingly perfect example. Who is Retta the father figure of them? That's the real question. Who's our Star Lord?
We get a initiative from Mug.
Oh yeah, sorry.
Good lord.
Numbers. I wasn't paying attention. 10 plus 3, 13.
There we go. Is the dragon going on
This is crazy.
Eddie's initiative?
You made a dragon's thing, so I rolled for the dragon.
But for
Right. Thank you. I forgot about that.
Yeah, so he's actually going slightly after me. He's going on Francis of Volnir's turn.
and Mugs.
That's true. Does what
Oh,
is
I
Eddie's
cede
dexterity?
to Mug.
What
Thank you.
is probably higher, but what is Eddie's dexterity?
Eddie's dexterity? Not great. He has got a whole 14.
Okay, so he's going after that thing, which you can try and identify later. Francis, are you going before or after the ancient brass dragon? That is up to mostly you.
I will go after.
Okay.
Because if I go after and Mug also chooses to go after the dragon will essentially act on Eddie's turn, thus making its initiative pointless, and that bit of irony pleases me.
Where do you want to go?
Say after the dragon, Mug.
What? Oh, Mug wants to go as soon as possible, though.
Okay. Curses foiled again.
I mean, that's what he wants. He could be ordered not to. But
Nah.
why would the captain do such a thing? Exactly.
Okay.
No, that corner doesn't. How about bottom left corner for initiative would be good.
Gonna be very curious as to how well these grunts do at surviving things.
We'll see. You can see a few members Mug, of your. Do you consider them all family? How do you see these other?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's like, people he grew up around. So like family. It's like a small town whose major industry happens to be piracy. So like his friends who he went to, you know, dark fire god school with and whatnot.
Okay, so yeah, these are your friends and family. You see them. They are fighting quite viciously around you. The ones, I mean, you can probably guess from the context, but the ones in the yellow armor are Navy soldiers. And you have the admirals beginning to breach the entrance to the temple right now.
Is
the fighting style of the more fanatical warriors would be they tend to wear like hooded cloaks and be very sort of quick and stealthy and striking from the shadows, but and like even creating like shadow riffs, like the classic shadow dancer type stuff.
Sure.
And their curved blades are wreathed in black flame. But there's various degrees of this, where like all the way down to just regular pirate dudes who aren't really into the worship of the black flame.
Mm-hmm. Of course.
So like just the full spectrum of random dude with a dagger wearing only pants, like Mug style, to fully clad heavy armor paladin of the black flame.
question.
Yes.
The big snake demon lad,
Mm-hmm.
is he friend or foe?
He appears to be dismantling magical protections on the entrance. So
Oh, got it.
your knowledge of magic is high enough at this point to be able to just kind of figure out not a friendly fellow.
Ungood.
No,
Do you want to roll to identify the thing? It is not impossible for you to be able to name it.
well, that was not a impossible roll. So probably not a thing that I know. Number hard escaping me. 23.
23?
Yeah. 23.
Well, you're gonna be able to kind of identify and begin placing it. There'll be things about it you won't be able to know. I'm deciding what that is. 23 is pretty good.
Sure.
23 is enough to recognize this creature's name, this being's name. This is the demon lord Typhon.
Oh,
Oh.
bad news! They have a demon lord.
Known as the father of monsters and the master of Laminus.
Oh.
Well, have fun with that, Mug. I will invisibly pat you on like the back of the knee because that's as high as I can reach. Good luck. Cool.
You also probably recognize the people behind those as well-known publicly, because you were a respectable member of society at one point.
30 years ago.
You would recognize all of these people from that time. Maybe not recognizing that you may not know that they became admirals in that time, but they were all up-and-coming heroes of the Navy.
Oh, good.
And they all wear the garb of admirals now, telling you what rank they have achieved.
Cool. Who are they? If I recognize them, who are they? Because I, as a player, don't know who these people are based on the images, but
And let me pull up names.
I'm guessing Fire Marine, Light Marine, and Cold Marine.
Onkainu, the what you said, fire marine, has a connection with lava and volcanoes.
Cool. Cool.
Kizaru has a power over light, including the ability to turn himself into beams of light.
Cool. Cool. Cool.
Excuse me. And Kuzan has power over ice. The ability to turn even the ocean itself to a frozen wasteland. Or at least so it's said.
I share this information. Really glad the volcano guy is here and not at the volcano temple. Seems like... Oh dear.
All right. Anyway, Kit, you have the highest initiative. Anything else as you're jumping in that people want to observe or look for?
Did you put... Mine was 8.
So how tall, so we're on this side of the building. How tall?
You're basically off the back wall by jumping off the edge of the ship.
Gotcha. So how hard would it be to be able to see the front entrance where the bad guys are?
You don't have line of sight. You can see that what's there. I'm giving you as players knowledge of what's going on in this area. In terms of spells, you don't exactly have line of sight because there is a building in the way.
Right, but the building's tall. I imagine would be taller than 50 feet, so I couldn't fly up and see the front from where we are.
Well, Tim, tell me about this building and the size of it. I think
Famous
this will
for
look like a good
low,
path.
small buildings, right?
Your
Yeah.
family's a big fan of bungalows, right?
I mean, a big temple, like an ancient, temple of devotion to a god would be pretty grand with tall ceilings and stuff.
Or maybe
I'm not sure how much of a scale it would be realistic though.
I imagine we're talking the Temple to Cologne in Germany,
Yeah, like a big old cathedral-y thing.
Yeah, but the pirates dug too greedily and too deep.
Well, and it's made of magical, obsidian base, forged from magical obsidian. So it's pretty cool looking.
You could fly up to the top, dash up to the top, and kind of get a better view of the battlefield around you.
So it's roughly 100 feet in that case.
Let me look at the height of a cathedral in Europe. One moment.
Might be more.
Really fucking tall.
So, if it's 100 feet, that would be a move and a dash to get up there. If it's 1,000 feet, then it's
maybe 100 feet. There's the spire. There's the spire versus the building itself, right? The actual building probably won't be the tall point that they're measuring.
Yeah, the tallest point of the cathedral of this temple is on 515 feet high, but
Nice.
you can the roof of the main chapel is going to be half that height.
250.
Still very big.
For some reason, I'm just picturing that Norwegian church that was built without nails, but it made entirely out of obsidian.
I know what you're talking about. That's pretty badass.
Yeah.
Well, in that case, it would be faster to go around than go above, even with my fly speed. Is there a way into the temple from our side? Because you're saying there's magical protections and stuff, so I imagine you can't just smash through a window in.
I imagine that the temple, guarded by warrior, assassin, clerics, paladins, would have substantial magical protections on just forced entry.
Cool.
That being said,
Mm-hmm.
Is the front door being forced open simply as a show of power, and it's as magical protections in place there by your mother?
Wait, what were you asking?
Basically, how is natural entry normally denied into the temple?
I'd say probably more so in the in like the shrine in the actual volcano. It would be more of a like keep them out because that's like the real magical center, and this temple is more so the like the community center for the cult. Or I mean, like it would be open to people who wanted to come in, essentially. But I guess once under attack, there would probably be magical protections that would raise.
Okay.
So yeah, I'd say at this point, they would be trying to deny entry, especially to something like a demon lord, because even though it's kind of a dark, like maybe the vibes of of the Black Flame cult are, like assassiny. They're still like they still think it's sacred, and so they still abhor like the profane things of the abyss. So lots of sort of like the turn undead style wardings, or like the ward off evil type things.
But theoretically, if they did have wards, they wouldn't just put them on the front door.
No, it would
Right.
be everywhere.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay, so from this side of things, there doesn't look there isn't an entrance on this side, so we'd have to make our way to the front to get into the temple, right?
Or you could attempt to bypass those protections yourself. You are quite powerful in your own rights. But yes, I would imagine fighting your way towards the front would absolutely be an option, taking out opposition on the way.
Would, just from our level 20 kind of knowledge, would us bypassing that protection also, would it just destroy the protection completely? Like, would us bypassing it also open the door for the Navy to get in quicker as well?
I would say by just breaking through the defenses would be a check of some level and a spell expenditure of some level. Breaking through the defenses like that and only getting such a check would open the door to everyone getting it.
Okay, cool. So
Succeeding at doing something better, like succeeding on a higher check, it's going to be difficult no matter what. But breaking through yourself in a way to not damage the defenses as a whole will be a more difficult thing, but is possible. And you are level 20, so I'd almost say flip a coin.
Was the idea of disembarking back here to go in the back of the temple? Or were we just trying to flank around to the back of the...
I thought the idea was just to get as close as you could, as quickly as you could.
Okay, that's fair.
The front of the temple leads up into town. In order to get there, you would have to go through the town, which would both be an extremely difficult check to not run into buildings.
Yeah. Right. Because we're not on foot. That it makes sense that this would be the spot we would have to get off the boat. Okay.
And I'm assuming to an extent you're planning this as you're approaching.
Yeah.
Well, I guess since it's I am just going to come over here. I am then going to cast protection from evil and good on Mug.
Ooh.
It's nice.
Uh-oh.
I heard there's a devil.
Demon Lord, very different.
I hope my mom can still hug me. I'm not sure which one she is.
sure she's a very good mother.
Don't you worry, Mug. Your mother is not a heretic like most of the people around here. She
Yeah.
believes in the good Lord of burning, and then you're just covered in a holy flame.
Wow.
And I guess I will just move slightly closer, so if there is an opening that happens, I can go through it. But being the first one, I'm happy to end my turn and then go to the back of the initiative to see what we should be doing. But yeah, so that's all I'm gonna do.
All right. Retta.
All right.
Double captain all the way across the sky.
Yes.
So intense.
So we've brought up.
Oh yeah. This is the church.
Things haven't really kicked off too much yet, but
This church is also the wonder for the Vikings in Age of Empires too.
Yeah, that's the only reason I know about it.
I think Retta will probably just wait until things start getting all crazy. So I will just not do anything this round.
You could at least start moving somewhere.
Yep.
Ursa
Dar,
has spoken.
Well, yeah, no,
Dar,
you're right.
over here.
The captain will do what the captain will do.
So where is the is the ship just like right off screen here? Is that what we're
Yeah.
saying? Okay.
They weren't prepared for land ship access. So we have to do the last bit on foot.
So what does the mother do?
And these guys surrounding our Marines,
Mm-hmm.
all these
Yellow
mostly
armor.
X's.
Yeah.
Okay. So then I will go ahead and where did the tab go? There it is. I will end up next to this guy and give him an old basic stab.
It's been a while since we've seen a basic stab.
I know, right?
Basic stab.
23. And then he will take 11 magical piercing damage and 5 lightning damage.
So 17 total.
Yep.
Solid hit. Anything else on your turn?
Nope.
All right. That'll be interesting. So the fighting continues as The Amelia starts cutting down wounding badly over there. Knocking off some hit points.
Conflict occurs.
Conflict occurs.
Flashing of black flame blades and dark cloaks and the screams of naval officers and soldiers.
All right. Typhon will continue working at disabling the magic barriers on the door. There's some of you speak multiple languages.
Kind of makes me think of like
Even most chaotic fiends might be blushing at the language being spoken up front.
Typhon is annoyed. Good.
feels almost like in Attack of the Clones when the Jedi are just like destroying all the battle droids. It's like a similar numerical mismatch and also a similar skill mismatch.
Eddie.
Oh shit.
Time to punch.
Yep. Oh dear, oh dear. Here was me just quietly daydreaming, but you know, stuff has to happen, and Eddie really hates naval soldiers, so he will run over to this one right here, and as he flies through the air, jumping off of Mug's shoulder, he will Superman punch this one in the face.
Nice.
Does a nat 20 hit?
Yep, that'll hit.
Okay. With the way his knuckles now work, this is about to hurt.
I'm sure.
I would not have expected a critical hit to hurt.
Needs to. I need more dice. No, we're reaching dice roll levels. This is ridiculous. Okay. So 2d10. And then to make sure I'm reading this correctly. Yes, okay. Fuck me sideways.
I thought that's what you were doing to them.
What we're doing to them is the realization that with sufficient force, any damage is piercing damage.
Yeah.
So okay, oh god, that's not even the math yet.
It's your own fault. You should have made the character weaker.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
too strong.
you
Yeah,
have
yeah,
only
no.
yourself to blame.
That is true.
Yeah, if you'd never learned how to read, this never would have happened.
Okay. Oh bugger.
Where are you able to read? Selfish.
Thought that was cheating.
What you doing reading?
Yeah, remember your place.
Okay. Without the addition of the tattoo, because I'm gonna hold that in reserve for now. would he kindly take 94 damage in a mixture of magical bludgeoning and lightning?
I mean, after the blow you took from Retta, he could take 27 of that.
Okay, so what I'm understanding is that
You do piercing damage, yes.
yes.
Right. How much damage did you do? For the math.
Let's see if I can remember. Like 17, I think.
Okay. Excellent.
Okay.
Carry on.
Okay, I check his movement speed. Yes, okay. I can just make it to this one without expending any extra resources. And attack again. Okay. Does a 30 hit him?
No.
That's a shame. Okay.
I mean, cross off his hit points there because he had also been stabbed twice by the zealots. What do you call the foot soldiers in your the soldiers in your organization?
Black Flame Zealots, yeah.
Black Flames.
Black Flame Zealots is the full title, but you can shorten it to Zealot. That's fine.
Zelote.
As the Black Flame Zealots have been cutting him down. That particular target you hit with an attack of 30 has 5 hit points left. You're welcome to roll if you wish.
Oh, I did. So it's an additional 40 damage.
You still roll the damage, even if it's overkill.
Yeah.
Especially the
You want to feel the overkill fully.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this very much does feel like overkill. Yeah, I'm doing piercing damage.
Do you just like punch his head off or something?
No,
Or do you
there's
punch
a
his
hole
heart out
in his chest.
Oh yeah. You do like the ancient kung fu technique where his heart like punches out the back of his back.
This is Eddie. There's no ancient kung fu
Oh right,
technique. There's
right.
just
You're not that kind of
crunch.
monk right now. You're just a bruiser.
Pugilist,
That's right.
which is why my fists do 2d10 plus lightning shenanigans. Just double check something real quick.
Anything else on your turn?
Yeah, I can't attack yet, but I will bonus action dash and move myself adjacent to this one. And I will free action just cup the sides of his face and go, it'll be over soon. And that will end my turn, yes. Mug.
Yeah. It's mug time.
You've been waiting so patiently.
Yeah. I would like to rage.
What a surprise.
Shocking.
I know there's some types of barbarians that get this anyway. While you were in this space, you do not need to keep attacking in a particular round to continue raging. You can maintain it.
Oh, cool.
For full duration.
Nice.
Thank you.
Nice.
Yeah, since I didn't go full... Since I went fighter multi-class,
Are you growing a
I
size
don't-
category as you do this?
Well, it's two different powers.
Yeah.
So
So next round.
it would have to be next round.
Gotcha. You're still large.
Lord.
But yeah, exactly. We bumped me up a size and made my power also bump up a size for fun and shenanigans. So I still get to be large. Okay, rage in effect. Where's my rage icon? It's the one where he's flexing muscles. Yes. And oh yeah, and then using the alternate rule, I would like to move, or the bonus
The
rule.
pounce.
I would like to move a distance from Raging.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Yeah, 20 feet. So I'll just excuse me. I'll just do the first 20 there, and then sort of. So then 5, 10, 15 more feet. I'm sort of just like stepping over my compatriots here, and just like I kind of just come stomping up and swing over their heads.
I would say they're probably like mobile enough in general that they can kind of step out of your way too a little bit.
Cool. And they're like, and they didn't expect me to be here, but the zealots have all heard of Mug, and like know to get out of his way, basically. So that all checks out. Okay.
They figured out what you were like before you got crazy powerful.
Right. Actually, true. Yeah, this would be like it'd be like all of the tall tales told of Mug actually like perfectly live up to him now. Like him being the largest and the strongest. It's like wait, I thought they were exaggerating.
There's no way he's 10 feet tall. What the heck?
Wait. No, I'm not 10 feet tall. I'm 12 feet tall. Okay, anyway. Enough goofing around. Blood must
Enough
be
having
shed.
fun.
No, I mean, different fun must be had. Oh, also, he would have had time to activate his flame blade. His twinkle twinkle. Or no, his little star with the command phrase, twinkle twinkle, and eviscerate this man. 19 is a crit with little star, so.
Oof. Rest in peace.
So today we get to sit and think about numbers.
Today on Barbarian Math with Tim.
Numbers with Mug. I'm not very good with numbers, but I make them really big. Okay, so we got a D8 baseline. We got 3d6 fire. I don't think they have anything special with fire. So then I have as a half-orc, my max plus roll becomes max plus 2x. And then with my barbarian feature, it becomes max plus 3x on the baseline. Wait, is it the whole? Would the fire damage also be?
No, it's just
it would just
your
be
weapon.
the weapon. I mean, the original double dice thing happens, but then okay. So it's going to be 3d8 plus a bunch of plus 6d6. So let's do that real quick. 3d8 plus 6d6, 41 plus 10. And then plus the max, so 8 more. 18 plus 41 is 59 damage.
What was that total?
59 damage.
Yeah, I was correct in crossing it out already. All right, there you go.
One attack.
Yep. Oh, and since I killed him so brutally, I'm just gonna narrate what happens. He runs up. He hasn't drawn his offhand weapon yet, so he grabs with his left hand. He grabs the dude by the head and just slices him in half like Darth Maul style. And then he flings the top half at the window next to where his mom is. So there's just like a splat of like half of a guy getting pasted there. And then he yells, "I'm coming, Mom!"
The
As
universal
loud as
symbol
possible.
the universal symbol of homecoming is the upper torso of an enemy,
Well, yeah.
bloodily thrown against the wall.
Yeah, when a battle is occurring, it certainly is something she would appreciate. Okay, so I have moved 35 feet out of the total 60 available from my initial burst from the rage, meaning I have 25 left. So
Time to murder the next unfortunate soul.
so I'm gonna go running by here and recklessly swing Little Star again. That's not a crit, but that is a 27. And it will deal 20 slashing, or no, a combination of slashing and fire, 20 damage. On this guy, just running, just like drive-by style.
How much was that total?
20.
Solid.
And if he's still up, then I draw my lightning mace in my offhand, using my interaction, and recklessly bring it down.
Didn't you?
Oh wait, I bonus raged. Yeah, so never mind. That doesn't happen. I just stay put right here.
Oh, you can still draw it because don't you have?
I do
dual
draw
wielding?
it. Yeah.
You
That's
get an
fair.
extra point of AC when you have two weapons out.
Yeah. So I draw. Yeah, I draw it, and I look menacingly. Already covered in Navy soldier blood, or I mean Navy men, whatever they're
Navy
called,
man juice.
semen. Covered in semen juice.
Don't like that image.
It's blood.
I'm surprised it took
what are
us
you
this
thinking
long
about?
to get to semen juice.
They're semen, and they're full of blood. It's a type of juice, right? Especially for vampires.
He's not wrong.
Blame it on Mug.
Anything else on your turn?
That's me.
Dragon time.
Dragon time.
Dovahkiin,
It's dragon time.
claim your
in
destiny.
the City.
What is Henry doing now?
Oh, bugger.
Dragon Henry.
Well, these things look very dodgy.
Which things?
I mean, yes.
Okay. So, the dragon, Henry Dragon, is going to shake a little bit, and then move his smiling self to here. He will turn back and go, Aki, you might want to watch this. And in a 90-foot long, 10-foot wide line.
Sure.
Mm.
You can get all of those, or you can get all of them if you want to include him, or you can get all 4 of these and these 2, lower 2.
I'll take the lower 2.
Okay.
In that case, if I'm thinking to avoid him, I will just belch that line of fire.
Go ahead and what's the DC for that?
Would they be so kind as to make a
Boo.
DC 21 dexterity saving throw?
They would all be so kind as to fail that if you'd like.
Okay.
Oh, oh,
Uh,
oh, oh.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. Would they be so kind as to take 61 points of fire damage?
Okay.
Ring-a-ling, hear them scream.
Oh yeah.
It's dragon time at the temple.
And this is lightning.
This is fire.
This
because
is fire.
it's a
Brass,
brass dragon.
not
would've-
bronze.
Grass dragons do.
I say I would have liked to have been a bronze dragon, but they are like too high in the CR.
Changes the direction I was going to go.
All right. Anything else on your turn, or anything else on Henry's turn?
Polymorph specifically doesn't allow the use of legendary actions. Yes,
Correct.
That was decided. Yes.
just had to double check that. Okay, I have dragon breathed, so yeah, that's my action. Can't use any more attacks. I moved from, I want to say here. I will lie to here. And just be very intimidating. That will end the dragon's turn.
Do you have an aura? Intimidating aura?
So I am reading this. I do have a frightful presence, but it says that's part of an action. It's not just something that, as far as dragons are concerned, apparently, that's just not something that just happens. I have to use it as part of my multi-attack.
Yeah, can use its frightful presence and then makes 3 attacks as opposed. But the breath weapon is a separate section of the stat block. So yeah.
Yeah.
Breath weapon, not at all frightening.
Yeah, no. Like this guy is completely unimpressed.
You're too busy being on fire to be afraid, I guess.
Exactly.
It short circuits everything else in your brain. What's wrong with my camera?
All right. Francis.
I'm just gonna zip on over here on the broom and shoot southward at this first individual to the south of Mug.
Does that what level of invisibility do you have?
Regular invisibility, so it will wear off on the first shot.
Yes, you do have advantage though on that first shot.
Okay. The first shot is a 26.
That'll hit.
Then a 33 will probably hit. Will a 21 hit?
21 will also hit, yes.
Alright.
They've got good armor. They don't have kit level armor.
Few of us do. Let's see. That's 12, 16, 22, 30, 35 force damage, plus 6 cold damage, so 41 damage to this fine gentleman.
Okay.
And then as a bonus action, we will do it again.
Okay.
That is a 24. That will be another 15 damage.
There we go.
And then the next 3 will go into the gentleman to the south of him. Does a 18 hit?
Usually, all right. 18 will in fact just hit.
Okay, so we have to roll in that one to miss them. Which, now that I've said that, I immediately do for the third raid. So we'll only hit him twice, doing 19 force damage and knocking him back 20 feet. So if we could yeet this man over to the corpse down here. That'll do. Or that is me.
All right. It is their turn.
Yeah.
Finally, unfortunately.
Wow.
Seeing you come around, they will call for some reinforcements. These guys will have to dash to get this. They won't be able to do much this round. But these 4 or these 8 down the bottom are going to start taking shots up north. Firing squatted. And they do okay.
I was
Miss.
reckless, so if anyone's targeting me, they have advantage.
Unless they're a fiend of some form,
Or undead.
or undead, or an
Or
angel.
fey.
Yeah.
Hey, Miles.
Hello.
Since there was the aside to Aki, can Aki be riding the dragon?
Yes.
Yay.
I'm glad someone is going with the dragon. I thought about it, but it didn't seem necessary. But having some support with dragon probably is going to be a good idea in this general flank plan that we seem to have stumbled into.
Mhm.
I went the wrong way.
No, you're with us. You're the reason the dragon doesn't need to come this way.
Oh, but the fire is over there.
But with you here, there'll be fire over here as well.
True.
So much fire.
Quick checking a thing here.
Speaking of.
All All right. What is the speed?
What is the speed? What is the speed of light?
As certain trouble starts to barrel down both ways, and some of the admirals are going to move out, while one of them is going to make sure that Typhon keeps working on the door.
Mm,
Um,
maybe we don't need to kill Typhon. Maybe we just need to kill Typhon's handlers.
Kizuru is going to go up. What is his full speed?
Up, you said.
With his flight speed and dash action, he is on the roof of the cathedral and about there.
Mm,
I suppose he can.
the roof. The roof.
And then some attacking happens. Mug is a big scary target. So Eddie, you're gonna get someone's gonna try and stab you once.
Okay.
The lowest of that is a 16.
Miss.
The higher is a 20 dirty.
That will hit. Only just, but it will hit.
Mm.
All right. So that's going to be 12 points of damage.
I would like to use my class ability cross counter to reduce it to 0 and hit him.
Mm.
Thinking about, okay. Reduced to 0. What does that do for? Okay. Don't worry about it. You'll find out about this later, I'm sure.
I'm sure I will. That is a 23 to hit him.
That'll hit him.
Okay.
You're on deck next. Crystal.
Yeah.
We'll be a moment with this, but
My phone's almost dead. So
I do apologize.
How dare you take game actions?
Mm-hmm.
so go ahead.
Yeah. Could he take, because I get my sneak attack because it's technically not my turn anymore.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Could he kindly take 44 points of damage?
You can take 25 points of damage.
Okay.
It's only been injured by fighting earlier.
Mm-hmm.
That would do it.
Not all of them have full health bars at the moment.
So that will cost me a moxie point.
You're over here currently. It's gonna go down a bit.
I'm sure it's a perfectly legitimate word, but it sounds so silly.
It is rather ridiculous, and I love it for it. Yeah. By way of explanation, Jeremiah, my cross counter is the same as the monks deflect missiles, but for melee attacks.
Mm.
All right. Oh, this guy would be good.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
One.
I like it.
This one's going to, the one that was thrown back by you, Caleb. Are they not thrown?
Nope, just pushed.
5, 10, 15, 20, 30.
Oh man, if agonizing blast could also knock you prone. Not agonizing blast, whatever the pushing, repelling blast. If it was also pronating blast.
Mm.
My God.
I feel like that's a pretty easily homebrewable invocation. Like a separate one. If you're going to spend an entire Eldritch invocation to be able to just do that, that would be pretty fun still.
Yeah.
Just might not be the best, but it would be fun. As well.
Although prone and range attacks don't get along very well, so it'd be a real weird choice.
Yeah, if you did
a Pact of the Blade,
True.
Warlock.
True. Yeah.
Especially with don't the new rules. I don't know. I don't know about the new rules.
Anyway, currently, Aki, it is your turn.
Currently a key. What does
Chaos Gremlin want to do?
So, I looked at the wording. Reverse gravity, you don't have to see the point, it just has to be within range. And it has a 100-foot range and a 50-foot radius.
Okay.
So I want a reverse gravity on those motherfuckers at the front door.
So you're just planting it in front of the front door?
Yeah.
What's the range you said?
100-foot range, 50-foot radius.
100-foot range. So you could do it basically on the front door. And get in front and behind.
get those 3 squads and Volcano Dude and Typhon.
Mm-hmm.
So they need to make a dexterity save to try to grab onto something.
Oh, you have line of sight on the front.
No,
she doesn't need line of sight
She
for
doesn't need line of sight. She just needs to have it be within range and she can pick that point.
Druids, so much
Smart.
That is smart.
Yeah, I mean,
one per squad.
Yeah, send it on a point within range.
it's really what you have to think about at the point of spell choosing.
Her DC is only 18. So
But
it's not crazy.
So the Admiral and the Demon Lord make it just fine.
Are you sure the Demon Lord wants to make it?
Yes.
Are you sure he wants to make it? He won't get hurt. It'll just mean that he gets to avoid doing work.
That's not quite the nature of what is going on there, but keep working at it. However, all 3 of those squads rolled under 10 on the dice, so.
They get to oscillate 100 feet in the air.
Be yeeted, my sons.
And that's a concentration spell. What is that for you?
That is concentration.
They are. Just gonna mark 1 token in each thing as flying.
But since I didn't get any of the big guys, I'll probably just drop concentration on it and make them all fall 100 feet and take damage.
Are you just gonna do that right away, or are you going to let that sit for a bit?
None of the big guys got caught, so sure. They just take an immediate 200-foot ride that ends in a splat.
200 foot?
100 feet up,
Oh,
which doesn't damage them, and then 100 feet down.
I mean, depending on how you time it and how momentum works, which it doesn't work in D&D, the rules don't support momentum. But if they did, it would be a 200-foot. It would be a 200-foot trip.
They're still traveling 200 feet. It's just,
Right. Overall.
And roll me the damage for that, which I suppose would be 90
What
10
would be?
or 96, excuse me, not d10s.
You want to let me have D10s?
No, not in this case.
Okay.
I mean,
Or
you could, if you roll well, you can just wipe these squads out.
that does require me to roll well, though. So
I believe in Aki's chaos overcoming your usual dice luck.
Yeah.
Although now that I've talked about it, it definitely won't happen. But
yeah.
the belief.
If it
And
if it did, it would be cool.
26, 29. So not enough to wipe
Oh.
them, I don't think, but close.
So good. I'll be right back.
Okay.
You have reverse gravity God away from the microphone.
Yes.
It's a pity you can't like pulse reverse gravity without dropping the spell, like as part of the function
Right.
of the
Boy,
spell.
boy, 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 boy,
Yeah.
boy.
Like with like call
Don't
lightning
want-
style,
if it
where
was
you
like a
can just
bonus
keep
action
doing it.
to, if it was a bonus action to turn it on and off after
Yeah.
you initially cast
Ooh,
it.
a bonus.
Yeah.
That would be extra
Yeah.
powerful. That'd be
Well,
great for an
it's the
NPC to
spell.
have.
The spell is literally called reverse gravity. I think we could allow it to be powerful. And
And
It's
like
a 7th level spell.
and variants of
Yeah,
it would be
it's a
fun.
seventh
So
level
like you could make gravity go sideways if you wanted to.
Mm.
You could do like a whole like like a graviturgy wizard's tower one shot, and like that wizard has developed various versions of the same thing that like the players are then able to learn as they go, perhaps.
Reverse gravity, reverse gravity, reversible gravity, leftmost gravity, rightmost gravity.
Yeah.
All right. Anything else in your turn besides throwing a lot of people around?
How far off the ground are we, Miles? Or are we not flying?
I think they're at ground level right now.
no, we are flying, so
Ah.
I had to fly to get that far.
Are you flying at ground level? Are you in melee range of people? Are you?
I think we could be 20 feet up.
Yeah.
Okay. Then
No use.
the cool action movie thing doesn't happen then, and that's okay.
If you want to do a cool action movie thing, I will go down to ground level just for you.
We can.
Well,
I did not have strong feelings one way or the other, but if there's a cool action movie thing to happen, I am here for it.
Sounds like
so
we're on the
bonus
ground.
action, because I'm a moon druid,
Uh-oh.
Mm.
wild shape.
Oh no.
Mm.
I'm high enough level now that I can cast spells in wild shape.
Yeah. He's shape.
So she's
Yeah,
gonna
dude.
jump off the back of a dragon and turn into
Oh.
a stone dude.
All my stone element before you.
So yeah, so you're basically just like the drop ship dropping off the heavy tank. Except it's just a little gnome that turns into the tank.
Like, there's a part of me that wants there to be a cool, like, flip off or jump thing,
Mhm.
and then as she's in the air.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See,
You
Eddie,
want-
Eddie and Henry have been teaching you this entire journey how to do a front flip into a superhero landing.
It's like
and
it's almost like Transformers energy, right?
Do you want Crystal to make a attack roll?
Sure. Attack roll.
Oh.
Dang it! I don't have. My phone died, so I don't have my forms. Oh no!
It's just Earth Elemental, right? Like the regular.
It is Earth Elemental, yeah.
Okay. Let's see.
Earth. Oh god. Everything is frozen.
I got it.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, baby.
Oh yeah,
that
Jeremiah
is
is the
the-
master of monsters.
It's a regular Earth
Indeed.
elemental.
Mm-hmm.
The attack is a +8.
So that's a dirty 20.
Hell yeah.
Mm.
Technically, it could be higher. Your strength is +5 plus. Anyway,
This is the.
go ahead. +8. What was it total?
Dirty 20.
That'll hit.
Oh.
You can definitely take your. Oh, heavy wooden Earth elemental. But anyway, take your 1,000 or 2,000 pounds of rock
And landed on
Body.
someone.
and splatter someone.
Ha ha ha.
I pulled up the 5e art for it for the stream. It's just like a big stone face
Yeah.
Mhm.
in the middle of the body. It's so good.
I just like the image of you just messed with gravity over on the other side of the
Yeah.
battlefield. So you jump off and just pull some earth up into you to create the form as your full length.
Yeah. I
Nice,
like
nice.
that.
All right. Anything else in your turn?
That's it.
I'm gonna bring you back to the.
I've done cool shit. I'm good.
Cool shit has occurred.
I'm gonna
Hell
bring you
yeah.
back to the map because I want it visible in.
In
The
the
turn order.
turn order. Fair.
But
Smirk. We all know what's going on.
Yep. Makes
people
sense.
want to call that for tonight since that is the top of the initiative again. And it
Okay.
is 9:20 here, 10:20 for a lot of you.
Well, Tom's got that mandatory overtime tomorrow.
I say let Tom decide because I don't.
Yeah.
I think most of us don't work tomorrow.
I don't
I
care.
do, but I don't care.
Okay,
First, so I'll do my move, and then
I get a late start. so-
True.
I'm tired. I'll just quit.
Sounds
yeah.
like one more.
I'm fine with one more.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm good with that.
The one with adult responsibilities has spoken.
What does the bird do?
What does the bird do?
Okay, so the bird reads his spells and what has there written, and so he will cast Firestorm.
Nice.
That's a good
And I'm
spell.
just I've measured it out, but I'll just draw where.
Where are we placing this?
All right.
Yeah, it's another one of those choose within range, boys. It's a key thing to pay attention to on high level spells, whether or not you have to see what you're doing.
So I'll draw this little square here, and then this little square here.
Oh, just tell me where. Point out where, and I can.
Okay, I want to hit all of this area.
I'm seeing our lower left-hand quadrant all getting engulfed in flame.
Yeah.
Which leads me to a question I was going to ask on my next turn. These Marines have muskets by the sound of it,
They do.
and powder,
They do.
and Tom is setting them on fire.
Mm-hmm.
Is that
Sooth is most pleased.
boom?
You'll find out. First of all,
Ooh, getting the dropped guys too. This is a lot of firestorm.
what level are you casting the spell at?
It's level 7.
Okay.
Oh, no.
See, he's being mean.
10-foot cube. Let's.
You know what? Let's end it for tonight.
Yeah, that seems to work for 10 for cube.
Yeah, I overshot. I don't want to get the lava guy because I have a feeling that's not going to matter on the vibe. But everybody else, I think I can get.
Yeah, that's 10 foot cubes.
I today learned the beam boy exists. So.
Oh yeah, man, you're catching up to me.
Chunk. Well, the beam guy doesn't like Q. That's frustrating. Beam guy is worthless.
Yeah, I'm really slow at my One Piece, so I get in.
No.
and
I mean in Roll20,
Oh,
the measure tool has a beam option.
oh, I thought you
Oh,
were.
beam.
There's a picture. One of the guys is what I would consider the beam guy that's on the map here.
Yeah,
No.
Kinemon.
No,
That's so funny.
I watched like 30 episodes of One Piece, and I regret all of that.
Watch the introduction.
Not even the introduction. I remember the stupid cat pirates and Usopp, meeting Usopp, and that's as much as I need of that show.
You discovered gold, and then you walked away from Captain Usopp, brave pirate of the sea.
Yes.
Brave Pirate of the Sea.
Turns out I'm allergic to gold.
Speaking of pirates, fire.
Yes.
Yeah,
What is
speaking of
fire
fire,
doing?
how much damage is happening here?
It's they need to make
You
saving
have to roll.
throws. DC 23 dex.
Do I need to roll saving throws? Like, what's the damage being done?
Oh, it's 7d. Hold on.
70-10, I believe.
Yeah.
Roll that shit up.
So I'm guessing a good chunk of them I don't need to roll for.
Potentially.
Oh, well, Roll20 decides it hates Tom. That's only 30.
30.
Yeah.
You're not allowed to have fun, Tom.
If the guys that got smacked with gravity succeed on their checks, they will survive with 1 hit point.
Ooh. And then their black powder will explode, dealing an additional 1 hit point.
And then black powder will explode, dealing any damage at all. So yes, they're all gone.
Just a series of popping noises.
The spell
As
does
they
specifically
hit the
say
ground.
anything the foreigner carried.
That's fair.
Yeah.
And that is both worn and carried, and is flammable.
Oh, nice.
But
Yay.
it doesn't hurt the plants, which is such a nice little addendum to Firestorm.
That's
Well-
Aki's influence on Kit.
Mm.
I actually love that fact because I was anyway. Never mind. No,
Yeah. There's like I want. Can we add just natural light? Like there's a little bug that's like sees this hellscape, but then is just like, oh, I'm fine.
Yeah.
And there's just all these dead soldiers all around.
What's the DC again?
It's just like,
23.
food.
20?
23.
23. Okay.
How y'all have your DCs so high?
Items that I think the only item for druids that bumps the DC is the moonsicle.
Yeah.
But clerics have an amulet, and bards have like 3 or 4 different items, all of which stack.
Oh, for druids, you mean?
Yeah, warlocks
Hmm.
have the OG DC upping Rod of the Pack Keeper.
My DCs are based on strength, which mine is 23. My runic powers.
Yeah.
The Admiral is the only one to dodge that, because the others, upon rolling a 20, other than the fact it was a nat 20, is the only thing that would save them, and they did not roll nat 20s.
So how much damage does the gunpowder exploding deal? Is the question. Deal about say 15 or so. Give it a number drawn entirely at random.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can roll it. Tom, do you want to roll me 4d6?
Okay.
Do it, Tom.
Damn.
Do it. Do
You
it.
could do it.
Do it. It's only a slightly above average roll. Do it, you
No.
bastard.
Well, I'm gonna use roll 20 just because it's gonna be mean.
Oh, don't do that. Roll 20 hates you.
Okay, that's
But
that,
I
I can't deny that actually. So I'll just use that old stuff.
I just want the action economy moved in our favor. If you roll 4 ones, I will take
No, I did 13 damage.
No.
No. Wait. Oh no, it's even worse. It's 14 damage.
Ah!
Son of a bitch.
What?
Whoosh.
Well, 44 actually might be enough.
It is not. No.
Ah!
It's okay. They get to burn for a little while longer. I get to experience the flames for a longer period of time.
They get to
To
experience
experience.
fear along with third degree
Yeah,
murder.
yeah. Whereas the other guys basically slammed into the ground and on the bounce up got incinerated.
Pretty much.
This is a really bad day for them.
They broke every bone in their body and then exploded into fire.
It's like,
Teamwork.
at first, the people who didn't get caught in it were
Yeah.
like, "Oh, I feel bad for them," and then when they get burned, they're like, "Oh, they were the lucky ones."
That's a
They
hell
don't
of
have to
an,
feel this.
that's a hell of an alley-oop right there.
See, at what point does Akeno just start killing them for their failure? This is the real question.
Mhm.
What's his rating? Does he produce an aura of 1 damage?
Yes.
Probably, but the ones around him are the ones who were dead.
Yeah,
So
no,
they've done their duty for now, I guess. Anyway, anything else in your turn?
this Memorial Day, remember those Navy soldiers that fell.
100 feet and then explode.
I am just going to move down this way.
Move the camera.
And I will. I think I'm gonna. Or actually, everybody's just gonna keep. I'm gonna move to here,
Mm-hmm.
and that will end my turn.
Oh, Captain, my Captain.
So are you set then?
Yeah, I'm ending my turn.
Okay, Loretta.
All right. Doing well, doing well. What's this guy up on the roof currently doing?
Standing there,
Just
menacingly.
chilling?
You're not sure what he's doing yet. As far as you can have the general idea that he's up there, but without line of sight, you're not going to know exactly what he's about.
You can't see it. He's not out like. We can't see. Oh, is he like inside?
No, he's basically standing on the roof right now.
Oh,
But
I thought the roof
height-
was like super steep, isn't it?
How
I'm confused
cathedral-like
about
is
like
this
what is
building?
stopping me from seeing him. That's what I'm confused about.
Fair question. How cathedral-like is the top of this building? And what's the design of this building?
You know, like if it's flatter on the top
Um,
of that picture, then fine. But
Famously made out of glass.
No, it's not very flat on top. Yeah, it's like very like pointy and like.
is he doing one of those like hanging onto the spire, like leaning off things? You know?
Yeah.
We can do that. Yeah. So yeah, he's at the moment he moved up there. He seems to be observing you. You can guess that he's planning an attack on this next turn, but what exactly that's going to look like is hard to say.
Just doing some King Kong shit.
Makes sense. Okay. Well, let's see. What do I have that's a little longer on the range factor? Because this is a tall thing.
Do the anchors that you gave us only work on ships?
Yes, specifically vessels.
Gotcha.
All right, so-
There's a reason I bought those is because it's a seafaring campaign, and
Yeah.
we never got to a position where I was really going to use them. But so this session we probably won't get into that. But
So, if we can ship the admirals together,
true polymorph creature into object.
yeah,
Freeze. That would be a really funny.
Well, first we sink the ships, then we root them to
but-
the bottom.
I'm gonna go ahead and check the range on
that would have
this
helped against the
creature.
gentleman and his submersible pirate ship.
Or we get a really small ship that's a vessel for ants, and then we insert it.
What is
What
this?
what is this? A vessel for
A
ants?
vessel for ants?
in your ass.
So basically,
Oh,
a
so
more
the
complicated immovable raft.
Fantastic Voyage.
Yeah.
Ooh, yeah.
Yeah.
Man, that movie frightened the shit out of me as a kid.
Use my space combat system for that.
The amoeba just eating that guy. That stuck with me. Not amoeba,
Alright.
red blood cell.
I'm gonna go ahead and this battlefield is big, so the range is and verticality is the problem. That's not exactly Retta's strong suit.
Fuck that.
So we will go ahead and use polymorph.
Mm.
Yeah. And get myself a big old dragon of my own.
Okay, what kind of dragon?
The truest of polymorph or a regular polymorph? Because regular polymorph is limited. To
Yes, you're right. Is beasts only. So I will pull something up here. The point being, I'm going to polymorph into something and then fly a little way. Probably something that has a fly speed and then move. But the action and stuff will be used up. So I'll find my thing and shift in a second. The ship is still moving at quite the clip. We'll start rounding the side of the fortress here. I can't tell exactly where the wall is. Is it that like
Edge of the map, yeah.
is it like the frame little thing on the map? So the ship is sort of rounding the outside.
Yeah. The ship is back. You can have it still moving around if you want. But I imagine that you pulled up and...
Yeah, everybody jumped off, but my other me is still on the ship. So
Gotcha.
still start shifting it around to the side of the thing. I don't remember how the layout was on the bigger map, but
in order to get to the front of this, you will have to go into town. And either you'll have to slow down considerably or figure something out, because it'll be difficult to do that otherwise without crashing into buildings.
Yeah, we'll definitely just slow down. I'm not going to be moving the full tilt, but I've got enough water that I should be able to slosh my ship up over things and whatnot with control water. So
Sounds like a plan.
and that'll be where I'm
So
doing.
which one of you is on the real ship?
The one with less hit points.
Okay. I'm gonna go ahead and
The
Be aware
simulacrum
now.
is on the ship.
Yeah.
Me is not on the ship.
Oh,
Okay.
the simulacrum appears to have been the initiative count holder.
is it? Yeah, of course
What?
it was. All right.
What are we doing?
The Black Flame Zealots come running past you to begin continuing engaging. Oh. the magical reinforcement, magical barrier on the outside of the temple reinforces a bit
Good.
as it swings in favor of Mug's mother at the moment.
Good.
Is that magical barrier that I'm assuming that would keep me from like just rolling the ship up over the wall?
I mean,
For now.
the wall is probably good enough that doing that will like beach the ship a bit.
Okay, good to know in the
But
future.
you can certainly crash onto the scene with it if you need to.
Yep.
Retta, when there was something that I suppose Retta could have spotted
Okay.
when they were looking at the Emerald on the roof.
Okay.
Would you make me a perception check?
Yeah. Natural 20 plus 9, 29. If I'm probably not pulling out my spyglass mid combat, so 29.
Probably not. There is a scroll of some sort in his hand that is glowing and activating. Where did I put that token? What's it called? There it is. That is a lot further down than I thought it would be. As he summons a creature to the battlefield, is going to land here in front of Mug. Be a lot larger than that. I thought it was going to be bigger on appearance.
Oh dear.
Mug.
Shit.
No,
That's-
Tim's gone.
Why evil shark?
Brother, why?
Shark meant to be good.
We'll find out more about that when Tim arrives. Yeah, so a big...
Fish out of water moment.
In the meantime, Typhon will try and break through the door. Meet with moderate success. He didn't lose ground this time. Now, Tim,
Yes.
a new challenger has appeared before you. One that you recognize.
Uh-oh.
At least if you've not seen it in person, you've seen images of this before on the island.
Ooh.
A creature that's treated as something of a local island deity and is responsible for the waters around the island protecting the island.
Ah, this is what we might have found in the...
Yes, it is. He was able to summon it in now because you do not interfere with the shrine.
Would this be
You
considered
see
elemental?
a number of tags and like runes that do not belong on this creature glowing as it's facing you. Let's go ahead and get that first set of attacks in.
It's not an aberration, celestial, elemental, fey, fiend, or undead? If it was, it would have disadvantage on Mug.
In this situation, I think considering it Fey and Celestial are both on that list, yes?
Yes.
It would be a cross of the two, making it applicable to the spell.
All right. So it would have disadvantage on attack rolls against the target.
Which I believe means a straight roll right now.
Yeah, right. Because of the reckless.
Right, and it can't be charmed, frightened, or possessed by them.
Hands off Mug's mind.
Mhm.
It is going to strike 3 times with its curved Fishhook swords. Right, it's wanting to put up a fight apparently. The lowest of those is a 25.
Okay, everything hits.
So 2 hits and a crit.
Okay.
Well, I'm within 60
I
feet.
was going to say, does anyone have anything to say about this?
Maybe re-roll the crit,
Okay.
and Kit have advantage on the next D20 roll.
And I will warding flare one of the other attacks.
There it is. Okay.
Oh, I guess I didn't really need to silvery barbs then, but yeah. Oh well.
Well, we could. Well,
Nothing wrong with silvery barzoning.
All the debuff reactions, yes.
Yeah.
So the crit is now a. What does that come out to? A measly 19.
Still hits.
Which.
No!
That's not a crit.
Not a crit.
True.
And then you're making a warding flare, which forces a reroll. What does that do?
I'm gonna double check. I think I thought it was a.
I think it's just disadvantage on the first attack, right?
Which he already has disadvantage, so you might want to.
Oh yeah. So never mind. Sorry. It was good to remember that I have that ability, but no, it wouldn't work in this situation.
Yeah, no worries.
Yeah, just squirt a bit of inky blackness into the shark's eye, and it hits slightly less hard.
I just did a regular ward on you instead.
All right.
Oh no, you've already protected him too well to additionally protect him.
Yes, what a terrible thing. That'll be each hit will be.
Mug's not in the book though.
What book?
My Death Ward book.
Oh,
I didn't have room for you apparently.
that's okay.
So 3 hits, 30 damage, reduced to 15 apiece. Because you.
Okay.
What are you currently resistant to? I should ask that first because it's been a while.
The only thing that is not is psychic.
So 45 damage gets through.
Good little chunk there.
Okay. And that'll be for now, as it appears. That'll be forgetting who now, Eddie.
Yep. Oh dear. Oh, what a dreadful mess this is. But can't get to them just yet, so 5, 10, 15, 20 over to here. And I think what I'm going to do is attempt to hit this thing many times.
Punch the shark. On behalf of the shark.
Yes, precisely. Because in Edward's words at this point, I think we might want to knock some sense into your local island deity.
He totally took a cheap shot on me.
Does a 26 hit the local spirit?
Yes.
Okay. Just gonna... Yep, okay. Just... sorry, being a minute. Okay. Okay. Now I have the math. Okay.
The math.
Sorry, there was a wording to my one of my abilities that was confusing me. Now it is no longer confusing me.
Mm-hmm.
Why did I get rid of the dice roller? That
Pessimism.
something like that. Jesus. Okay. Could it kindly take 38 damage?
Over how many hits?
That's the first hit.
First hit. Okay.
Second hit, or second attack, I should say.
Hold on a moment while I record a thing.
Mm.
Where's my pen? I had a pen. Here it is.
This is rarely.
Go ahead.
Okay. 25 to hit. We're walking our way downwards.
That'll also hit.
Okay. Say slightly more reasonable at 26 damage.
Okay.
I will spend a Moxie point to use the old one too.
Okay.
30 to hit.
That'll also hit.
Okay. Okay, 34 damage. Second bonus action attack. This is the one that... Okay, 29 to hit.
Mm-hmm.
28 damage. And then I will spend one more Moxie point to see if this thing can do something interesting.
Mm-hmm.
And what is this Moxie point trying to do?
This is the 1, 2, 3 floor. I get one additional attack, and if it lands, I knock this thing prone, if it can be knocked prone.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and that's 28, so that would hit.
Mm-hmm.
32 damage. And if it can be knocked prone, it is knocked prone.
Nothing in the stack box says it can't be knocked prone, so it is knocked prone.
It's got legs, don't it?
However,
Here it comes.
is that correct? I had all that up correctly. Okay. You will take 62 points of reflective damage.
Okay.
Shark is spiky.
Shark is very spiky.
Yeah, no, that's That's entirely fair. Considering what I just did to the poor thing.
Mm-hmm.
So is that the end of your turn?
That is literally everything I can do.
It's going to
That
use a
took some
legendary action.
moxie.
It's going to what?
Legendary
Use
action.
legendary actions.
Okay.
To summon a threat.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Mm.
The Matryoshka doll show. No! What are you doing here? I didn't do anything to you.
Actually, it's supposed to be there,
That's
but
the
yeah.
game.
Thank goodness.
He's still within attack range of you, though.
I am afraid.
What do I have? This. Okay,
Can it attack on its summon turn? That's the question.
that's what I'm looking at here. Doesn't look like it. Doesn't say that specifically in the text.
Usually, there's nothing that stops a creature from being able to attack as soon as it shows up.
Yeah. They
Some of them
could.
have things about like roll for initiative or.
Yeah.
But that just comes down to how you want to run it.
Generally, the newer summon spells in Tasha create a spirit that acts immediately after your turn. The conjure spells, I think, were more complicated and needed the initiative roll. But in either case, they could just act.
It's
The other
also not its turn.
That's the other complication.
True.
That's happening
Mm,
outside of its turn.
yeah,
But
so
that's
that-
legendary action.
That's literally the only reason I asked, because I was like, if it's his turn, of course it can attack me. That seems
yeah, so
perfectly
then
logical.
yeah, it'd be up
But
to
that
you.
happened at the end of your turn as a special action. So yeah, probably not.
Oh well, next
I think
turn
no.
it guts me.
I'm
Unless
saying
it
no,
rolls-
it's not.
Maybe it rolls a 14 on its initiative.
I'm gonna say it goes on his turn.
Yeah.
All right.
Fair.
That's how many hit points I'm adding to it. Okay.
Maybe just write a note if this
So
is the
basically
last
you see-
round. Or I guess you can just put it on the initiative count.
As a few drops of your blood come off of your hands from punching this thing,
There you go.
some of the drops float through the air as water surges off of this being's body and forms
Ooh.
this shark-like being behind you.
Creepy.
I'm going to make quite a few of those, I suspect, if
Mm-hmm.
hurting the shark makes them.
Who's next? Mug.
Speaking of
Yes.
hurting this thing,
Okay, so when I leveled up, my Rune Knight subclass gained another rune, the Storm Rune.
Okay.
Appropriate.
It gives me advantage on Arcana checks. I know normally that's intelligence, but I want to figure out what's going on with the runes on this guy's body. The runes that shouldn't be there. Could I use wisdom for this roll, perhaps? Since it's like,
I'll be right back.
naturey, druidic adjacent
Yeah.
type powers.
Wisdom, insight kind of leads into the same thing.
Thanks. It just makes it a +1 instead of a -2, so I appreciate it. But
That's
and it,
like
like it's like I feel like Mug would be able to draw on his strength. Still not a great roll. A 13.
And what are you looking to get out of this?
I guess I want to understand what the runes are doing and how to stop them.
So a 13 isn't going to give you a ton of information, but it's not going to be no information.
Mm-hmm.
It's clear to you that these runes are being used to control it somehow. That much is obvious. To
Yeah.
you. They're not supposed to be there. You've never seen these patterns before, and you're intimately familiar. You've got tattoos of some of the symbology associated with this creature on your body. Whatever these things are not supposed to be there. You're not sure how it's controlling it, like the mechanisms that are being used. But it is somehow getting, and at least it's a being that's naturally violent. Like this is
Yeah.
it wanting to fight is not outside of its characteristics.
Yeah.
That it would be lashing out here on the land amongst and seemingly for the Navy is very strange.
Yeah.
So, it doing violence is not surprising. It doing violence here on behalf of these people is the weird thing.
Yeah.
That same sense of wrongness that you feel with the invasion of the island in general is amplified several times over with this thing in front of you, with this creature in front of you.
Okay.
Some things should not be messed with, and this is one of them.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, I have an idea. I'd like to grow as a bonus action. First of all, using what's it called? The thing.
Giant smite.
Yeah. Giant thing.
Grow the thing.
Giant smite.
The thing where I get big.
Grow the thing.
Mug, get bigger.
Yeah, so I hulk out a little more than I already was. I'm always a little bit hulked, but it's just degrees. And yeah, like the runes. And the rune tattoos glow as he enlarges. I would like to. Let's see, if you try to grapple somebody that's prone, what does that
I don't think it
benefit
makes a
you?
difference.
Okay.
So there is
Certain things can do.
there is some argument that if you grapple someone that's prone, they can't unprone themselves before freeing themselves.
I
That's
suppose.
There's like regular grapple rules, but it's just held in the prone position.
Yeah.
Is grappling a special attack? Because if it is technically an attack,
It
then
is a
you
type
would
of
have
attack.
advantage. 'cause
Okay,
it's
I already would
melee
have
attack.
advantage anyway.
All right, then
so
yeah.
it
So
doesn't
it
matter.
wouldn't matter.
Okay. I have like
Yeah,
a
it's special melee
weird.
attack.
I have like a weird mug wizard, mug's a magic user plan.
Okay.
So here's my thinking. At least, okay. Mug goes into his mind palace, and puts on his wizard hat. I'll just cut to this for a minute. He's thinking about this.
It's a red hat with wizard written on it.
And there's some moons, or no, there's like just some squares and triangles on it. He didn't get the shapes right. Anyway, he thinks about, okay, ring of protection on my hand makes me safe and is full of magic. If I were to punch this shark man as hard as possible in the eye with said ring to where it gets destroyed, could I unleash the protective magic inside the ring, permanently infusing this this being? What was its name again? Did we have that, or it's just a
Shamash.
primordial spirit?
You would refer to it as Shamash.
Okay, Shamash. Okay.
Shamash.
I would like I want to grind this. I want to destroy this ring of protection, in the process inoculating Shamash from these malicious runes, using up my attack action in the process. But hopefully, undoing the magic. But
If this works, I want to feel real bad for beating the crap out of him.
That's okay. But I was just thinking of like if it really cost me like something pretty valuable. But also I could roll to figure out if this is a good idea, and if I think it's a good idea and it's really not, and I just break the item, I guess that could be an outcome too. When you
roll to think of this as a solution.
Okay. And I guess I'm rolling Arcana again.
That seems reasonable. I'd be open to arguments or other things, but that makes the most sense to me. Religion would also work if that's any better for you, but
That's a net 20.
Storm Rune doing good work.
okay.
So either an 18 if we're doing int, or a 21 if we're doing wisdom.
I like the idea. So I'm trying to think of if it would work and how it would work.
Yeah. All right.
What I would say
You
is-
could never mind. Sorry. Go ahead.
You could basically treat destroying the ring as tribute to it, to give it a chance to try and break free on its own.
Oh, can I also call?
Did somebody just say tribute to a water
I
monster?
would. Yeah. Can I? I was gonna say,
Yeah.
can I call upon the sacrifices to the deep of great riches that my crew has bestowed over the last however long this has been?
Yeah, it's been quite a while.
Quite a lot.
Call on cord,
I
baby.
would say no, but you did just roll a nat 20, and that makes sense as a connection. Okay. Let's do this. I'm trying to think if there's anything else you would need to roll, and I'm thinking no. I guess that's the question. Were those sacrifices to the... I mean, I know...
I mean,
first character's
Jim.
name. Jim's sacrifices were just...
To the ocean.
Jim's sacrifices were to the spirits of the deep,
Yes.
which is a sort of a broad description of the pantheon of undersea deities that the Tritons worship.
Mm-hmm.
This
This
thing
could
would
absolutely
absolutely be part of that. And
Yeah.
then somehow Cord got involved. So I don't...
That was his. But Cord initiated that contact.
Mm-hmm.
To go all the way back,
Yeah.
I started spreading the rumor that Retta was
Yeah.
a prophet of Cord.
And then it actually happened. Yes.
So
Yes.
all
so
the-
that was a little bit separate from the dropping gold in the sea thing, I think.
all
Right?
the Jim money could apply to this.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, that's fair.
And like the first bit of Retta money would, but after Cord got involved, I think
yeah, fair enough.
After Cord got like, the whole thing with Cord is not a religious interaction. It is a like Retta views it more as like a business interaction.
Yeah.
Like Cord's like, hey, you're good. You're spreading my name. This is good stuff. And I'm
Yeah.
like, and I'll give you this little, some of this power and bless you a little bit. And Retta's like, I'm fine with that. I'll give you some money. We can go back and forth. But like,
Mm-hmm.
Retta's not like really a devotee. It's
Whereas-
one of those like, we live in a world where the
Mhm.
gods exist. And
Mhm.
sometimes they'll be chill about like going back and forth. I give you this if you give me that, kind of,
Whereas Jim was absolutely doing it for religious faith-based reasons.
Yeah.
Well,
And then Retta was sort of honoring Jim / now it's become its own thing.
Yeah. Which the fact that it's coming up during the one of the final fights of the campaign is hilarious to me.
And yeah, I mean, yeah, it's a good full circle.
So
I guess
here's
that
what I'm thinking. There's two possible things you could do here.
Mm-hmm.
This spirit has a cycle of destruction and rebirth. You know that there is a blessing that comes with defeating him, and that he would be able to return. And with that 30, you would know that he'd be able to return in his full senses after that time, after the appropriate cycle has occurred. So you could very much set him free by defeating him and gain a blessing. You can help him you can attempt to help him break free and potentially have him turn his fury on his captors. That carries the risk of failure with it, though.
Okay.
So,
what's the muggier option?
what does Mug want to receive the blessing of this being moving forward in the fight, or does he want to try and win a new friend? That is a very violent friend.
Yeah. Well. Yeah. Even before the friend thing, which Mug definitely always wants a new friend. Mug believes in breaking chains and turning those being controlled on their captors. So he would definitely do the attempt the
free.
Yeah. And maybe I'll try to intimidate. I could try to intimidate it by saying, "This is not who you are. You are a true shark of the wilds. You should be devouring these fools, not working for them." And in my current form, I'm pretty shark-ish. I'm halfway between, like were shark. So just a giant mouth full of shark teeth, menacing over, and trying to, I don't know, thinking about the sort of asserting dominance type thing of the wild, and saying sort of fall back in line to your nature. Let me roll a thing.
Yeah,
Fall
all this
back in
stuff
line
is
with nature, or the monk starts hitting you again.
Or
given
do what is naturally and rightfully your duty and protect the island. Don't fight against its protectors.
Yeah.
Question.
Oh.
Yes.
If there's at all a chance of some kind of Jim connection with the spirits of the deep.
You want me to check how much you gave?
No. My question is, since it's Jim, and Jim's one defining feature was doing damage to the crew by accident, could we mitigate some of the chance of failure of this check by just doing some lightning damage to Mug?
Yes. That's awesome.
I'd also be perfectly fine if it, since all stuff happens all semi-simultaneously, coming alongside with Dispel Magic on my next turn.
Okay.
That could also be a good plan B if my thing
or
doesn't
we
work.
could,
What I will say is, for other people helping out, if you have ideas of ways you can add to this specifically, You have until the Typhus and Chamasha's next turn
Okay.
to
Until the
add
shark's
to it.
next turn.
Until the shark's next turn to add to it.
Okay.
Okay.
That'll be when it goes.
So we
And
won't
it
know the
attempts to
exact result
Mhm.
until
Right.
then. All right. Sounds
Makes
good.
sense. We all just try our things and see what happens. Oh, I guess I also did describe, like, even though I'm helping it break free, I am trying to just, like, punch this ring so hard into it that the magic goes in it. So I guess I should still make an attack roll, right?
And no. You
Okay, fair enough.
see it's not that high. And you're currently like trying to connect with it on a physical, spiritual level, both.
By giving it a black
Be
eye.
free.
Speaking in the language that the only language anthropomorphic sharks understand, giving each other black eyes.
Violence.
Yes.
So does that take us to dragon time, or
Yes, that would be who's next in initiative.
Oh,
Dragon
let
time,
me
yes.
roll that intimidate.
Go
Oh,
ahead.
dear.
Do you think that would have advantage? I guess I...
You have advantage at this point, yep.
Okay, a 21.
You
on
have a
the-
specific connection with it, so
Okay, a 21 on the intimidation check to tell it to shape up and do its job rather than fighting us.
sounds good. Dragon time.
Okay. I will move to here. My frightful presence will blast out.
So I can't even exclude.
Yeah. Does that hit everybody in the area?
That hits everyone I choose it to hit.
Everyone you
Mm.
choose. Even better.
Good, good.
What's the range on that?
120 feet.
Oh, it's just blue
yeah,
everywhere.
Is that an aura? Is that an aura that sits on you?
It's a one a turn kind of thing. So
Okay.
It's an activated ability.
it's not too hard.
Mm-hmm.
So you must succeed on a DC 18 Wisdom saving throw or become frightened for a minute.
Okay.
If the creature's saving throw is successful, the effect ends. The creature is immune to the dragon's frightful presence for the next 24 hours. So I'm relatively certain that there we go. Here, let me set this to linger so that
What's the bad thing that happens if they fail?
frightened.
Frightened. Okay, so
we're spooked.
not too crazy.
And I can just keep using it.
Yeah,
But
it just
if-
more and more people are gonna be immune. Yeah.
yeah, once they beat that, again, not terribly difficult DC 18 saving throw. So I think at this point it's just going to be a handful of Marines.
Mm-hmm. Let me... there it is.
Oh.
Yeah, the Demon Lord is not afraid. He is immune to being frightened.
Makes sense.
As is the Admiral, which also kind of makes sense.
Yep, yep.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm just gonna say that all the Navy soldiers in that area are just terrified. I'm not gonna roll. Looks like it'd be like 8 checks there. They're terrified. They're still fighting, but they are under the frightened condition.
Can't move closer.
Okay. Frightened just means they've got disadvantage to attack anything if they can see.
Well,
me.
and they can't move
Yeah.
closer to you if
Yeah.
they can see you.
They cannot
They
move
can't
closer
knowingly.
Okay, in that case, we will start with the furthest one away from me.
Do you want to roll a d6 to see if you get your breath weapon back? I believe that's how.
I always thought we rolled that at the end of the turn.
Well, then you would have rolled it at the end of the turn you used it. So either way,
Okay. Yeah. Dice roller.
I usually roll it at the beginning of the turn.
Don't get it back.
Doesn't super matter.
Yeah. Do not get breath weapon back. We're good. Does a 21 hit this man?
Minus man is the one at your feet.
Meets beats? Cool.
Oh no, you definitely beat. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, assuming they're all the same stat block and 18 hits.
Then it is bite time.
Get pierced, boy.
Yeah. Would he kindly take 22 piercing damage?
You can take that. Yeah.
Okay. Second attack. Better. 25 to hit.
That'll hit.
That's a claw.
The claw.
Say that'll deal out another 17 damage.
All right. You bite and rip and tear. Another body hits the floor.
Okay, and I'll start clawing at this one for my last attack. 28 to hit, so I think we're good on that score.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, max damage. 20 damage.
Nice.
On the one next to him here.
Yes, this one.
Okay. It's a hit.
It's a hit.
Anything else in your turn?
Nope, that will end my turn.
Francis.
Is the man on the roof within 150 feet of me?
The roof is like, we decided what was half of 500, so 250 feet tall.
Okay, so no. That answers my question. I will instead stay exactly where I am and chuck a fireball down here that will hit these 3 squads of Navy men in the lower right-hand corner.
And this one.
And also that man. I completely forgot about that. But I will channel it. I will channel it through the staff so that it is a 7th level spell.
Nice.
Could they make DC 22 dexterity saving throws, please? Or preferably fail.
Do these by squads and then the individual.
Ooh.
They will basically, in 22 you said?
Yes, please.
Yeah, they got to roll pretty well. And they rolled well, but not pretty well.
Mm.
I think the highest of those is probably a 20. I'd have to jump over to that page again, but I think we're good to go.
45 fire damage, please.
Nice.
Actually, fireball.
7th level.
That'll do it.
Big boom. A big boom.
Should hopefully get these 12 boys as well.
Have to move him to do this because he's too close to the edge.
Ah, that whole problem.
And then these I should be able to just, go one by one.
Mm. It is a pity you can't just select multiple tokens and then apply an icon to all of them.
Be cool.
Yeah.
You hear a bunch of pops down at the far end of the field.
I believe I am committing a lot of felonies here. I will sort of look up towards the roof nervously and stay put.
It's only a felony if you get caught.
Speaking of getting hot, how far is that? Staying on the roof, but moving a bit closer. Moving to a different and much closer, looking down on all of you right now.
Rude. Want to take.
Let's see. He'll fire a number of beams of light at you.
How far is he away now? Now that he's lower?
He's not lower, he's just closer.
Oh,
So
okay.
he's on the edge of the building now. But still,
like 250 up.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Just I can't tell like what is roof and what's not. So
that's fair.
I thought the roof was just over this central section, but it must be
No,
everywhere.
I've moved the roof label with him just so that we know.
Thank you.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. All right, continue.
That was what I was looking for. I figured there had to be
There he is.
AoE attack here.
Oh no, there doesn't need to be an AoE attack.
Nah, can't possibly have one of those.
What's the bring between? And he'll get the one creature, but that's okay for him. Retta, Mug, and Francis, and the summoned land shark creature gets to roll a what? Dexterity saving throw.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
DC 24
Oh.
as radiant damage is coming down at you.
Well, let me check, but I think I failed.
24, I think is exactly what that is. Let me double check.
That only adds
I
things
failed.
to AC. Yeah, only 22. Burn me.
Radiate.
Yeah, I succeeded, but is it one of those for half things?
Let me check the wording.
I knew I should have. Should have.
Half
moved
damage,
to-
and you were not blinded for the next round.
Okay.
Mm.
Let me know how much I'm taking.
There it is.
Lots.
That'll be.
Oh, I have advantage on saving throws against these things, but it doesn't matter.
That'll be 59 radiant damage.
No. Not so bad.
No, this is a cone, so it's not as much damage as an individual attack.
The round of blindness is unfortunate. Oh, but I didn't move. Good. Okay, I think I can put him in a box next round.
So, what did I say? 59 damage. And then cut that in half.
Yep.
Yeah. 28.
Yep, I took care of it.
Yeah. That
Oh, I
was.
got it. Okay, fine with that.
It's okay. I'm still in triple digits for a good long time.
I'm also still in triple digits, but for less of a time.
You're not here for a long time. I should roll a creature. I doubt
Much less time.
it did not, so it takes damage and is blinded. Not that that severely impacts it. a key. Crystal?
What does? Oh, what about the other two admirals? Does
Right,
Frost-
you're right. Thank you. In fact, I had kind of forgotten about them with trying to figure out the...
I assume Frostboy isn't afraid, so he's.
No, he's definitely going to be doing a thing. What long range attack does he have? There it is.
Maybe Aurora Beam or
that.
Glacial Lance? Ice Beam? Triple
What do you-
Axle?
Are you
Throw
looking
an
at
ice spear.
skating things?
I just googled Pokemon ice moves.
Okay.
Blizzard, Chilly Reception, Freezy Frost.
What he's about to do is realize that what he's doing is wrong, and he's going to get on a bicycle and pedal across the ocean.
I love that scene.
But unfortunately, it is not what is happening right now. You, Aki, and at least the first soldier, he's not old enough to hit one of his soldiers, even though they're about to die anyway.
So he's not a practitioner of absolute justice.
No.
Weakling.
But can I get a con save, which you'll probably be fine for your dragon right now? Con save from the elemental and the dragon.
Sure.
And I'll roll for the flame zealot.
Did we come down on no legendary actions, but yes legendary resistances?
Yeah, I think that's what we said.
I think so. Yeah.
That sounds familiar.
It's a 27 anyway, so we'll see how that does. Plus 13 to
That's pretty
con.
good.
Mm.
DC 25, so yes, you are good for that.
He's more dangerous than the Light Man.
As he attempts to freeze you all in a block of ice.
Mm.
You succeeded, so you were not restrained. What's the damage on this? Half damage. Okay. Looks like I should roll it.
Oh, there you are.
The dice in front of me. You take 22 points of half damage is 22 points of damage as you
Okay.
are encased in, or attempted to encase you. You are able to break free / melt the ice around you in time to not be resisted and not take the full force of the sheer cold. Crystal?
Yeah.
How's that save going?
16 on the die, so
Plus the con modifier
yeah.
of I have that.
thank you.
Plus 5.
So 21.
So you do take full damage.
But I'm Rock Monster.
You are a rock monster, yes. And what did I say the damage was there, Miles?
You gave me 22 damage.
22.
Oh,
So 4 damage.
Yeah.
Of the Earth Elementals, healthy, 126. Which I should have added to its token anyway, so I'll do that now and then take it away. And you are currently restrained. As is the Zealot, who was also caught in the ice. You can break free of said ice by attacking it for damage, or there's another way. Let me.
What happens if she just drops rock form?
That would probably do it too.
since she's druid enough to have infinite wild shapes.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
Yeah, but wouldn't that take like the action to get the bonus action out, and then a bonus?
Yeah.
I guess she could spend her whole turn doing the in out, but
Yeah.
Well,
Or,
I
or
would think that I could just bonus action into a different shape.
oh,
Yeah, I think
uh,
that's usually how it's.
I
I think raw.
I think it actually,
can't,
yeah,
but-
normally would take some kind of
don't know about.
choice.
Actually, that's what I'm trying to think. No, I think you can.
Druid 14. Wild shape.
I'm pretty sure you're allowed to. I just what you call it?
Bonus action.
Let's see.
You can revert to
Under
normal form
wild
earlier
shape.
by using a bonus action. Automatically revert if you drop unconscious.
Yeah, I mean, there's nothing that says in the thing you can use your action to transform. There's nothing that I think that
Yeah,
says you
right,
can't
there's-
do it
yeah.
while you're a.
Yeah.
Oh,
no,
like
that's a good point.
as in
I've
you're
never thought
just,
about using it to go from one animal to another,
Right.
though. I used it to on my
That's pretty
my
smart.
super don't die druid just to transform into the same animal, re-upping the hit dice and hit points.
Yeah,
but-
because
Yeah, if
when
you-
you're
if
in
you do
wild
spam-
shape, other than spells, you're typically able to do any ability you could normally physically do. So there's no
Yeah.
reason you couldn't.
Yeah.
Potentially, unless the DM says you can't. That's fair.
But no, that would be the way to do it.
In the Dungeons and Dragons movie, they're able to do it all the time.
Yeah, do they?
Yeah,
Well, I mean, that's a
Animal.
bonus.
I've never seen it
That's
yet.
a bonus action for you.
It's
So
funny.
they move from animal to animal to animal.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
And it's an awesome effect.
Didn't she also have like a billion
Yeah. She was
wild
she was-
shapes?
She was an 18th level druid at least.
Yeah.
And yeah,
But she
Which
never
is
cast any
bonkers.
spells.
Yeah.
She cast no spells.
she just
She really was not
forgot to
helping
prepare
her way.
spells.
But
Somebody
yeah,
homebrewed
I
a
am-
druid
I
that had
am-
all animal transformations and no.
I mean, I would play the hell out of that class.
I think there was a 3.5 that was basically just wild shape and nothing else.
Anyway,
But yes, you
Um,
can. Long story short, yes, you can just wild shape into something else.
Kit, I think you would probably be the first to notice. There's a just above the fog cloud above, or the smoke cloud above everything right now.
Mhm.
You just instinctively know something hot is coming down,
Mm.
and it's
Don't
scheduled,
worry, everyone.
scheduled to land in your allies' general vicinity in a round. You may or may not want to be in this area when that happens. It's entirely up to you.
When you say allies, which allies?
In a-
I would consider Kit and I more acquaintances than allies.
Remember that when he
It's
takes the time to actually heal somebody.
a large and indiscriminate fire attack is heading in your direction. Let's put it that way.
Okay, cool.
Of lava variety.
Cool.
Ah.
Do with that information as you will. You don't know exactly where it's going to land, but in your general,
Mm.
Unkind does not have line of sight on you, but he knows generally where you are,
Mm.
and is seeing the people dying on his both sides.
Touche.
However,
How erect does this make a Kit?
oh,
See the feathers just
Mm.
like.
he wishes he could.
Is that a holy symbol in your pocket?
Of the devout, in fact.
But that's he spends his turn preparing that attack.
Okay.
I have a specific square that I've marked on the GM's layer in mine, and a
Excellent,
radius
excellent.
around that. You will all find that out if you stick around this area.
Cool, 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 cool.
Do I feel like I'm already not within that, or would it be impossible for me to tell?
Yeah, make me a vibes check, an insight check.
Vibes check.
Vibes check, okay.
How fucked are the vibes?
Oh, fuck are the vibes in this specific spot?
That's a dirty 20.
Dirty 20? The vibes are not good in this spot, or they are good in this spot depending on your point of view. The vibes are going to get very hot where you're standing.
Hot vibes.
Hot vibes.
A level of fire magic that you would very much appreciate having.
Hot vibes in your area.
Hot vibes coming for you now. Wait 6 seconds,
Oh no.
or you won't last 6 seconds anyway. That's
Kit,
that.
Kit puts on like a like a cowboy hat. Ready. Suddenly has like a bunch of a beaded necklace around his throat.
Aki, what are you up to next?
Can you move the map over a little bit so I can actually see where?
You're here, currently encased in ice.
Yep.
You can hit the X to try and break free. You can try and fire melt it, or you can shape change.
And there's a couple of low-level schmucks that are over there still.
Yes.
Also,
Okay.
if the ice is only restraining, you theoretically could just stay put and cast a spell and call it a day.
Yeah. You do not.
True.
Not a
From
big
here, no, there's nothing. I mean,
Mhm.
you're very chilly in this thing, but
Sorry, my brain decided to start pumpkinning, and I was falling asleep a little bit.
I mean, it is late, so this will probably be it for now.
Yeah.
I feel like I had plans and thoughts, and I don't remember what they were.
You can smack at the ice and go from there.
Or, I mean, if you want to just start the combat, you know, we could.
Also an option.
Yeah.
True.
That'd be good.
Okay, you're really out there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, I
Okay.
think it's a good place to call it for now. Aki will start us off
All
next
right.
section.
Nice,
I'm
nice.
sure with some shenanigans that I won't see coming.
Yep.
I've pulled my shenanigans pretty thoroughly.
Mhm.
Yeah, I enjoy the number of red X's we have produced.
Many red X's.
There were quite a
were
few before we got
produced.
here, but
Yeah, we're not all.
You've
but
added considerably to it, and you
Yeah.
will continue, I'm
Oh,
sure.
yeah.
to do so.
I,
Good night all.
yeah. Good night, all.
good night.
Good session. I enjoyed the. What order do you want to do this in for the final conflict? So
And then y'all just went right for the finish line, which
yeah,
was
I didn't realize this
really
was the finish.
anticipated.
I realized about when you mentioned the shark thing being summoned that we've come to the final fight
Yep.
first.
Yep, you ran straight
Whoops.
forward with.
That's pretty mug style anyway. So it works out.
Sure, we'll be fine.
So this coming Sunday and the Sunday after, there's a good chance I won't be available.
Oh,
Because it's the first 2 weeks of summer. I probably have said this a while ago, but it's the staff development week. So I won't know for sure until I get a closer look at the, schedule, and we haven't really even put that together quite yet. So
So we
But,
should
we'll
plan
figure it
on
out.
I'll let you guys
we should
know.
probably plan on a 2-shot while you're gone, and then
Yeah.
Yeah, it wouldn't be a bad idea just to do that. Whether I'm going to be able to or not, then you're ready to go, and I could always drop in if I end up being available. So,
Cool. All right.
yeah, I can think of
Well,
something.
yeah.
sounds
According
good.
to the group.
All right.
All right.
Thanks for letting us know.
Yep. See you guys.
GG.
Love you, bye.
Love you guys. Bye.
All right. Well, as we wind down the stream, hope you had fun. Hope you're able to laugh, even if it was at our expense. And we hope that if anything's weighing on you, it feels a little bit lighter after hanging out online with friends. And until next time, bye.